Hello, good evening, and welcome to the Commentary Hub's alternative audio coverage of this quarter-final match between England and Switzerland. I'm your alternative host, Nicholas Jones, and this is a crucial match for both sides for a lot of different reasons. And to explain more of those reasons, I have Paul James and Mike Harneman with me in the commentary booth. Gentlemen, good evening to you.
Good evening. How are you, Nick?
Yes, I'm good. And before we get into any further details, I should also mention that this is a double bill of commentaries for us tonight at the Commentary Hub. We will be covering the later match between the Netherlands and Turkey, whatever happens. But right now, let's concentrate on England against Switzerland. Paul, I said just now that England and Switzerland have this crucial match for very different reasons. For Switzerland, it's to perhaps get further than the quarterfinals last time when they lost to Spain on penalties. How do you think they're going to do against England?
Well, they've already had some very, very good results. They've dumped the champions out 2-0 in the round of 16 in Italy. And of course, they got a very solid draw against Germany, who arguably were the second best team in the tournament performance-wise. So they've shown themselves to be well capable, with Guilherme Bolo and Dan N'Doye being a real threat up front.
And as for England, they still haven't got over their lackluster performances and haven't had matches with convincing victories. I mean, sure, they did win during the extra time period against Slovakia, but apart from that, they've not really shone.
No, they've been very poor all the way through the tournament, to be honest, and we're very fortunate to come out of the Slovakia game and not be on a plane home. I mean, as a consequence of that, Gareth Southgate has made some changes, playing wing-backs today with Kieran Trippier and Bukayo Saka on wing-backs with the three centre-backs, Stones, Konsa and Walker. They've brought Phil Foden into an attacking midfield role, in a central midfield role, along with Jude Bellingham side by side, and that will create extra chances for Harry Kane. I actually think Gareth Southgate might have it right this time.
And right he should have, because it's his 100th match in charge as England manager. Only two people before him have reached this feat. Sir Walter Winterbottom and Sir Alf Ramsey. And the question still remains whether this will be his last as England manager, or whether there are projects for him beyond Euro 2024. We're going to fetch Mike Harneman in quickly to give us his thoughts on both teams just before the game. They've just come out. They're about to come out as we speak. But Mike, quickly, but before I hand over to you, how do you see? What are your opinions on both England and Switzerland?
Yeah, so good evening, Nick, good evening, Paul, good evening, everyone that's tuning in as well. But for me, I think it's going to be a really tight game, a cagey game, as we've seen a lot of the games so far. All of the games yesterday were very, very cagey, and I think today is going to be more of the same. Obviously, England have made some changes, and the notable one is that Jude Bellingham remains in despite being suspended on the back of that hand gesture. It's not an immediate ban; it's a ban that rolls over for up to a year. So it's going to be interesting to see when that suspension takes place, but it's not going to be in this game. And to be honest, if England progress, it won't be any point in the rest of the tournament either for me. So it's a bit of a strange one, that. But yeah, I think it'll be a tight and cagey game, but I think England will just nick it.
Yeah, what's also strange for me is that they're including Ezri Konsa in the starting lineup.
Yeah, I think it's quite a sensible move. That obviously Mark Gahey was sensational really throughout the group stages, and sort of was very, very good last time out as well. And he's not really put a foot wrong for me in the tournament, bar getting suspended. So I think it's kind of a natural replacement if you want to go with a back three and Kyle Walker stepping in. It's the wing backs that's going to be interesting to see whether Kieran Trippier performs better on that right hand side, and then I think Bukayo Saka is going to be playing on the left. left full-back role. So a change of position for him.
I see it now. I see it now. Which of the well, we've never really touched on the Switzerland players. Which of those stand out for you?
Well, as an Arsenal fan, Granit Xhaka, 100%. I think he's their big player. I think the battle between him and Declan Rice is going to be where the game's won and lost for me.
But we also shouldn't discount the likes of Ruben Vargas. He's been very good as well.
Yeah, he has. There's been a few other players that have stood out, obviously, and Bolo up top as well. But for me, I do think it's the midfield battle, which is where if England can keep Granit Xhaka quiet, then they've got a very good chance.
Yes, thank you. Yes, thank you, Mike. Yes, thank you, Mike. And Paul, Paul, do you agree? Paul, do you agree what Mike said about the likes of Vargas and Xhaka being standout players for Switzerland?
Yeah, absolutely. They're certainly standout players, and be interesting to see how it all plays out.
Yes, indeed. Well, we're about just a few minutes away we're just about a few minutes away from kickoff. So let's get straight into it, along with the full lineups as we hand over to our commentators, Mike Hardiman. But first of all, Paul James.
Thank you, Nick, and good afternoon, everybody, wherever you're listening from. Gareth Southgate's 100th game in charge. He chooses to make a different switch in the formation. Obviously, having to replace Mark Gahey, who's suspended, they line up as follows. Jordan Pickford in goal. The centre-backs are John Stones, Ezri Konsa and Kyle Walker. The wing-backs are Bukayo Saka and Kieran Trippier. The two in midfield, Kobe Mainoo and Declan Rice, with Jude Bellingham and Phil Foden operating just behind the lone striker, Harry Kane. For Switzerland, managed by Murat Yakin, no changes at all from their victory over Italy. Jan Sommer in goal, Michel Arbeitscher as wing-back, along with Fabian Rieder. And the three centre-backs are Fabian Schär, Manuel Akanji and Ricardo Rodriguez. In the midfield there is Remo Freuler, Granit Xhaka. Also in the midfield and the front line is Ruben Vargas, Breel Embolo and Dan Ndoye, making this a 4-3-3 system for Switzerland. The substitutes for England, the goalkeepers Aaron Ramsdale and Dean Henderson, with Trent Alexander-Arnold, Lewis Dunk, Joe Gomez, Conor Gallagher on a yellow card, Cole Palmer, Adam Wharton, Luke Shaw, Ivan Toney, Anthony Gordon and Ollie Watkins, Jared Bowen and Eberechi Eze. For Switzerland, the two goalkeepers, Yvonne Mvogo, Gregor Kobel, Leonidis Sturgiu, Nico Elvedi, Cedric Seiziger, Dennis Zakaria, Renato Stefan, Steven Zuber, Vincent Sierra, he's on a yellow card right now, Jordan Shaqiri, Arden Jashari, Sylvain Vidmore, Noah Okafor, Kawado Dua, and Zeki Amdouni. Actually, each team has 4 players on yellow cards in the starting lineup today. For England, Kieran Trippier and Kobe Mainoo, Jude Bellingham and Phil Foden. For Switzerland, it's Ricardo Rodriguez, Remo Freuler, the captain Granit Xhaka, and Dan Ndoye. Our referee today is one of the best referees in Europe, Daniele Osata. He's age 48 and he's from Vincenzo in Italy, with Alessandro Gialatini, Ciro Carbone. In the fourth official is Daniel Siebert from Germany, and in VAR it's Massimiliano Irati from Italy, Bastian Dankert from Germany, and Paolo Valeri. England are about to get the game underway, attacking from left to right in this first half in their white shirts, blue shorts, and white socks. Switzerland in their all red strips, red shorts, and red socks. As England get the game underway, it's Jordan Pickford has the ball back, and he clears it long downfield, but it goes out of play, and it's a throw-in for Switzerland, level with their own penalty area. So a huge game this for England, Mike. At this point, they need a good start after the poor performances in this competition so far.
Yeah, 100%. England really do. They haven't been the sort of shining lights that everyone expected them to be sort of throughout the tournament so far. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens sort of this evening with that. Obviously, Jude Bellingham and Harry Kane are the only two players to have scored for England so far. So I think that's something that England are going to want to try and put right a little bit as well and get one or two other players on the score sheet if they can.
Jordan Pickford has the ball now. He releases it there to the number 2 for England, Kyle Walker. He just puts the ball out of play, and it looks like that came off a Swiss player as England are going to have the throw-in. It's Gareth Southgate there in his 100th game in charge. We understand also that Prince William is present today as Phil Foden gives the ball away there to Granit Xhaka. Xhaka holds the ball in midfield, and he drops the ball right back there to the number 5, Manuel Akanji. Akanji releases the ball to Rodriguez. Rodriguez holds the ball up, and he's going to return the ball to Manuel Akanji. He's got Jan Sommer just waiting there for the ball as well, the Swiss goalkeeper. And he plays the ball out onto the far side to Abisha. Abisha plays the ball forward there, and just trying to bring that ball down is the number 26, Vida. He drops the ball back into his own half, and it's now with Manuel Akanji. And it's then picked up. Oh, that's a challenge there on Briel Mbolo, but Switzerland maintain possession, and it's Rodriguez now on the ball. And it's dropped back there to Akanji. Akanji holds the ball up there. England choosing not to press as he plays it across the back to his central defensive partner, Fabian Schär of Newcastle. Jude Bellingham tries to get in the way of that, puts a block on it, and the ball goes out of play for a throw-in to the Swiss. And it's going to be taken there by Dan Ndoye, almost on the halfway line. He now is forced to move the ball into his own half. Takes a throw-in quickly, does a quick 1-2 with Remo Freuler. And Ndoye still has the ball, just skips away there from John Stones. And the ball goes across there, looking really for Reader, but he wasn't able to find him. It goes out of play, and it's going to be a throw-in to England, and it's going to be taken by Kyle Walker. He drops the ball there to Mainu. Mainu gives the ball to Declan Rice. Rice across to Jude Bellingham now. Bellingham drops the ball to Rice again. The Arsenal player had a tremendous season with Arsenal. Here's Phil Foden. Plays the ball down the right-hand side here now to Bukayo Saka. Drops the ball to Mainu. And it's now with Rice again. Mainu. He's got Saka down the right-hand side now. Saka. He's got 2 Swiss players in front of him there. He drops the ball back to Mainu. Mainu to Foden. Foden across to Declan Rice and back to Foden. It's now with Kyle Walker. Gives the ball to Bukayo Saka. Saka just cuts inside there and gets across towards the back post, but it's over everybody's head and goes out of play for a goal kick. As he just turned away from Ruben Vargas there, but the cross was not the best one from Bukayo Saka, Mike.
No, it wasn't. And actually, just picking up on what I said earlier as well, it looks like Bukayo Saka's playing right full-back and Kieran Trippier left full-back at this moment in time. So a little bit of a change of what I originally had.
Well, that's what we had too, actually. I'm quite surprised at that, really, considering Bukayo Saka could be considered a natural left-back. The ball is out on the far side now, and it's with Arbeischer. Arbeischer plays it into the middle. That's a good challenge that time by Konsa. And he clears away, and Ruben Vargas just gets a touch on that and puts it out of play. It's going to be a throw in there, as it was just an attempted back heel by Remo Freuler. It didn't really work out. It's going to be a throw in for England. It's going to be taken by Kyle Walker. Walker just holds the ball up here, just taking his time. And he's got options available, and he finds Bukayo Saka, and Walker just tries to cut across there, but Ricardo Rodriguez gets in and makes the challenge, and it's going to be a throw-in. That was actually Ruben Vargas, and the throw-in is going to be taken by Kyle Walker. Walker just throws the ball down there to John Stones, and he gets the ball back, does Walker. He drops the ball back to the goalkeeper, Jordan Pickford. Pickford releases the ball, and over on this side is Ezri Konsa. Konsa gives the ball to Jude Bellingham. Bellingham in the centre circle here to Kobbie Mainoo. back to Bellingham. And across to John Stones now, still inside their own half, England. And it's now with Kyle Walker. Drops the ball to Phil Foden, who's down this right-hand side at the moment. Does a quick 1-2 with Bukayo Saka. And Ruben Vargas just gets in and makes a challenge there, puts the ball out of play. Throw in for England, that's taken quickly by Bukayo Saka. It's now with Konsa. Konsa to Declan Rice, back to John Stones. Stones plays the ball down the right-hand side to Bukayo Saka. Bukayo Saka has got Ruben Vargas on that side in front of him, but it's now picked up there by Foden and across to Kobe Mainoo. England knocking the ball about well here. Declan Rice to Bellingham. Bellingham picks the ball up again and just trying to skittle away there from Freuler. It's a great ball there to Bukayo Saka, who's inside the penalty area on the left-hand side. He drops the ball back to Walker, who crosses the ball in, and it's cleared away there by Manuel Akanji. But it looks like they're having a player offside. Just see straight into that offside position. It was, in fact, Bukayo Saka when he received the ball from Jude Bellingham. But again, patient and decent build-up play by England, Mike.
Yeah, it was a good play from England there. Started out from the back with Konsa and then Kyle Walker as well getting involved, and obviously Bukayo Saka there, who, him and Kieran Trippier are going to be very important for the width of England, because otherwise there's not really an awful lot of width on the pitch with, playing 2-10s.
Well, it's back with Jan Sommer now, the Swiss goalkeeper, former Bayern Munich player. Picked up now by Granit Xhaka, the captain for Switzerland, former Arsenal player, of course. Rodriguez launches the ball forward, and intercepting that is Kyle Walker, but it drops to Ruben Vargas. Vargas drops the ball there to Arbeischer, and it's picked up again by Granit Xhaka off Remo Freuler. Plays the ball out onto the far side there to Dan N'Doye. Dan N'Doye cuts in the penalty area, and it's played across the penalty area, but cutting back well there was Kobe Mainoo and knocking that ball out of play. And just for the first time in this game so far, Switzerland putting on a little bit of pressure on the English defence as Dan N'Doye takes a throw. Knocked back to him by Remo Freuler. Dan N'Doye's got Jude Bellingham in front of him. Back to Freuler. And England now just taking a back step off Switzerland at the moment. It's Manuel Akanji in an advanced position. Drops the ball to Arbeischer. Back to Rodriguez, just inside his own half, Rodriguez. And he seems to be going all the way back here, and he gives the ball to Granit Xhaka, who's very deep inside his own half. And the ball is played forward now, and a quick 1-2 back to the goalkeeper, back to Fabian Schär there. And it's picked up in midfield by Xhaka. Back to Akanji. Fabian Schär. And Schär goes for the long ball, and chasing this one down is Ruben Vargas, and he gets there. What a ball by Fabian Schär. Down the left-hand side is Ruben Vargas. He gets the cross in, and it's just headed out, but only as far as Dan N'Doye. Dan N'Doye drops the ball back to Freuler. Freuler back to N'Doye. Corner of the penalty area. Left-hand side, it's swung in, and the header is out by John Stones. Switzerland just getting their first bit of pressure in this game, and it's now just dropped back there to... I think that is Arbeischer. Arbeischer to Granit Xhaka. Good ball to Ricardo Rodriguez. He plays it down the left now to Arbeischer. Arbeischer back to Xhaka. To Ricardo Rodriguez. Rodriguez gives the ball to Vargas, who's been particularly lively in this early point of the game. And it's Granit Xhaka again. Switzerland just keeping possession themselves. We'll get an opinion from Mike in a minute on this period of pressure from Switzerland on the English defence. And here is Manuel Akanji. Drops the ball back to Fabian Schär. Fabian Schär, he's got options left and right. He drops the ball there to Rieder. Back to Freuler. Freuler, Rieder again. Oh, gives a good ball to Embolo. Embolo skips into the penalty area. And he's still on his feet. Embolo tries to get the cross in, but it's behind for a goal kick. And that is a really good extended period of pressure, Mike, by the Swiss.
Yeah, 100%. They've really put a lot of pressure on England there, but England have stood up to it really well so far, and I think that's what England are going to have to be very, very wary of and very careful of, because obviously last time out conceded the first goal, and it was an uphill task from then. So England don't want to concede the first goal today, because it's just be more of the same again. So if England can get the first goal, it'll be very important.
Oh, it's just Manuel Akanji just tries to play the ball off Foden now. It breaks loose nicely for Foden, who heads it down. And it's played over on the far side to Trippier. Trippier finds Declan Rice. And he gives the ball there to Kobe Mainoo. Kyle Walker. Walker down this right-hand side to Saka. Saka pulls the ball back there to Walker. And quick with Declan Rice. And it's slick passing by England as Stones there finds Ezri Konsa. Picked up by Trippier. Back to Konsa. Konsa gives the ball to John Stones. As now England reserved keeping possession at the moment. It's Kyle Walker. John Stones. And it's a nice pass there to Jude Bellingham. Jude Bellingham just dropped the ball back to Konsa. Here's Trippier. Konsa again. As England just holding the ball up for the time being. It's with John Stones. No pressing from Switzerland. At the moment it's Ezri Konsa, just over the halfway line on the left-hand side. Gives the ball to Trippier, operating down the left side in this first half, as me and Mike have already discussed, which I find that a little bit strange. Here's John Stones, just inside his own half of the field. And England, just at the moment, just seem short of ideas. They're keeping possession, but they're not really going anywhere with it. As in the end, Konsa goes all the way back to Jordan Pickford in the England goal. Pickford plays the ball forward. It's a nice pass there to Bellingham. Bellingham just turning away from Manuel Akanji there. And he gives the ball to Trippier again. And it's picked up on the halfway line. That's a super long ball over on the far side there by Konsa to Saka. Saka gives the ball to Kyle Walker. Back to Saka again. Corner of the penalty area, right-hand side. And he manages to find Phil Foden. As here's Declan Rice. Over on the far side there to Bellingham. Back to Mainoo. Mainoo, he's out by about 30 yards. He gives the ball to Bellingham. Bellingham just turns away. Tries to slip the ball through there to Harry Kane, but he's not able to find him, and it's cleared away, but only as far as Declan Rice. And Declan Rice gives the ball to Kobe Mainoo. Back to Rice. Rice holds the ball up to John Stones. And Stones plays the ball down the right-hand side to Bukayo Saka. Oh, Bukayo Saka beats Arbeiter. Gets a great crossing by Saka over the head of Harry Kane. But comes right back to Declan Rice, who gets his shot away, but it's blocked. And finally hooked out of play by Ruben Vargas. And it's going to be a throw-in to the English. And it's going to be taken by Bukayo Saka as well. Saka leaves it, in fact, for Kyle Walker. And it's going to be level with a Swiss 6-yard box. The shot coming in there looks like the block. Just coming off Fabian Schär there and helped out a play by Vargas. But it's going to be a throw into England now. And it's Walker. He just drops the ball down here for Phil Foden. Phil Foden has got time on the ball right now. It's across there to Ezri Konsa. Konsa just turns back and goes all the way back to the goalkeeper, Jordan Pickford. Mike, just your thoughts on this. I have to be honest, I'm not sure how much of a good idea it is for Switzerland to stand off like this.
Yeah, I agree as well. I think especially on that right flank, Bukayo Saka looks to have the beating of his man at the moment, and then sort of through the middle as well. England are just kind of playing it around sort of through the centre of the park at will as well. So, yeah, it's not the best idea, especially with the record that Switzerland have against England as well, which is not the best.
Well, it's offside. And Kieran Trippier protesting. Actually, he looks level there. I'll be honest with you, Mike. He looks. I'm not sure that was the best decision by the assistant on that far side.
No, I'd have probably said he was level as well. But then again, we've seen already in this tournament that I think it was Romelu Lukaku was offside by the width of his toenail. So it's very, very fine margins.
Yeah, and that goes back to Jan Sommer. Sommer releases the ball to Rodriguez. And back to Manuel Akanji. Akanji just holds the ball up here. Just looking for options left and right. He lifts the ball forward, but that's a good interception by Declan Rice. And he finds Jude Bellingham. And now it's Declan Rice down the left-hand side. Gets across into Harry Kane. Kane has got a bit of space. It's pulled back to Kobe Mainoo, and it's blocked by his own man, Phil Foden. But it breaks loose again to Declan Rice, who tries to get the cross in. That's blocked by Xhaka. Kane gets in, trying to get a touch on that. and the referee is signalling something. I'm not sure exactly what, but he seems to be protesting Harry Kane and Granit Xhaka both having a word. Let's just take a look at this. It looks like that may have come off Fabian Schär last, but I think Switzerland have been awarded the goal kick. Indeed, it did come off Fabian Schär last, but Harry Kane not pleased with that, and he's going to have to accept it. But that looked a clear corner to me, Mike.
Yeah, I thought the same at first. At first, actually, it looked very, very clear. So I'm not too sure what the referee's seen there. But yeah, Switzerland, again, have got to be very, very careful. They're a bit sloppy in play there, and England were very nearly in to capitalise.
Jordan Pickford has the ball, picked up from a long ball over the top, as Pickford has been present as an England goalkeeper for quite some time, as this stadium, the Merkerspiel Arena in Dusseldorf, is absolutely packed to the rafters and cleared downfield. And Granit Xhaka just picks up the ball here, and he drops it back to Fabian Schär. Schär goes all the way back to Jan Sommer. Sommer has got an option for Rodriguez, but he plays the ball to Schär. Schär plays the ball over the top of Jude Bellingham, and it's picked up there by Breel Mbola, but is dispossessed by Kobbie Mainoo. Kobbie Mainoo skipping inside the penalty area, but Jan Sommer just comes out and collects that, very quick to react, the Swiss goalkeeper. And Mike, in the first 17 minutes, what have you assessed from England's performance? Have you seen an improvement from the earlier games in the tournament?
So far, I think I have. I think England are really calm on the ball at the moment. They're not, forcing the issue or anything like that. Switzerland have made a few silly mistakes where they're giving the ball away in sloppy areas. And yeah, I think England are looking a lot brighter so far without testing somewhere in the Swiss goal as of yet. But yeah, especially down this right side with Bukayo Saka as well. Get the ball out to him, and I think that's where something might come from.
Well, we've got a free kick, and Arbeischer just saying something to the referee there, but we'll continue with Remo Freuler, who gives the ball to Ricardo Rodriguez. A couple of comments. Sue Hedges is in the chat today. Evening all, come on England. Good evening, Sue. I hope you're feeling very, very well. England started off very strongly in this game so far. Here's Remo Freuler, gives the ball now to Mbola. Back to Freuler, and Kyle Walker just gets across and reads that very well. But he's under pressure from Freuler, and that's going to be a free kick for the foul on Walker by Remo Freuler. And it is a free kick. And
that's England, a very good bit of defending from Kyle Walker, actually, as well. And I think that's where having him in that back three is a benefit to England with his experience there. Obviously, John Stones is experienced as well. And I think those two are going to be very important to Ezri Konsa throughout this game, because obviously, he's not really played too many times for his national side. So having those two alongside him will benefit him, I hope.
Well, here's Jude Bellingham. He just clashes with Granit Xhaka. Referee says play on. Here's Bukayo Saka now storming down the right-hand side. That is a really good challenge by Ruben Vargas. Just wins that ball back and drops the ball there back to Arbeischer. And Ricardo Rodriguez just drops the ball back to Manuel Akanji. Interesting fact that the coach for Switzerland, Murat Yakin, was in the Swiss side that lost in 2004 to England in the Euros 3-0. And of course, this is not a familiar sight. Only 3 wins for Switzerland over England in their entire history, and the last one was in 1983. Here is the number 5, John Stones. Gives the ball to Kyle Walker, and now Phil Foden. Foden holds the ball up, does a quick 1-2 with Declan Rice, but Foden now has the ball, gives the ball to Rice. He's got options over there. On the far side, it's Konsa. He drops the ball back there to John Stones. And across the centre line to Kyle Walker. Kyle Walker just drops it down to the right-hand side to Bukayo Saka. Bukayo Saka pulls the ball into the middle to Phil Foden. They're midway inside the Swiss half of the field. He drops the ball back into the centre circle to Declan Rice. Here's Foden. Oh, long ball over the top looking for Bukayo Saka. That's a superb pass. Saka plays the ball across the 6-yard box. And it's cleared out of play that time by Granit Xhaka. And, well, That was a really superb ball by Phil Foden to Bukayo Saka, drilled across that 6-yard box, Mike. And that was nobody taking the gamble for England there. But it's going to be a corner. I'll get your thoughts on that in a moment. That really was a good move by England. The corner is going to be outswung, and it's going to be taken by Kieran Trippier. It's down the right-hand side. Looks like he's going to outswing this one. And just looking for options. There's 2 or 3 players around the 18-yard box. There comes to Harry Kane with a looping header, which goes well over and out of play. And, Mike, really good build-up by England there, especially with the pass from Foden to Saka, but nobody gambling in and around the 6-yard box.
Yeah, it was a delightful ball from Phil Foden onto Bukayo Saka, and that's where you'd want Harry Kane to take a gamble and get on the end of that one. Obviously, he had the chance from the header from the corner just after that, but England are looking to get that opening goal now and, not too far off it.
Here's Bellingham now. Gets into the penalty area, left-hand side. Can Bellingham get across? And he does, but it's a disappointing one. It falls right at the feet of Granit Xhaka. And he clears the ball now. And here's Breel Embolo under pressure there from Declan Rice. The referee says no free kick. Breel Embolo disagrees with that, but it doesn't matter. The referee's word is final. Here's Bellingham. And it's dropped back into his own half of the field. And now we are going to see a free kick. Jude Bellingham, and Breel Embolo is complaining. And Embolo needs to be very, very careful. He doesn't want to pick up any cards early on in this game, but does look like he catches Jude Bellingham very late there, Mike.
Yeah, for me, I don't think you can have any complaints with that. I think it's a yellow card. I think he was more wanting to complain about the foul previously, which I think was by Ezri Konsa on him, which he saw as a foul, but I didn't really see that one, to be honest. I think more the second one was the foul. Out of the 2.
So the free kick is going to be taken. Phil Foden and Kieran Trippier are both standing over it. High line by Switzerland here. Bellingham, Kane, Konsa, Stones all up there. It's taken by Phil Foden, a long ball. Chasing it is Bukayo Saka. Does he keep that ball in play? Well, it looks like it. Sommer just reaches up, though, and grabs that very comfortably. In fact, the referee has, in fact, given a goal kick, so Saka was not able to keep the ball in play. 23 minutes gone here. It is England 0, Switzerland 0 at the Merkerspiel Arena. And England starting off very strongly in this game. Sue has said, we are England fans. We cheer them every game, each way they play, home and away. This is the commentary channel that we have brought all the England games for you so far. You've had the opportunity to listen to them here on the Commentary Hub, and we definitely appreciate you joining us here, spending your valuable time with us. As the ball goes back from John Stones to Jordan Pickford. Pickford plays the ball over there to Kyle Walker. Walker holds the ball up, plays it past Granit Xhaka to Phil Foden. He gives the ball back there to Kyle Walker, who returns the ball to John Stones as England build again from the back. It's a good ball by John Stones there to Jude Bellingham, but it's been given away now. And here's Breel Embolo. He gets a shot was blocked there by Ezri Konsa, but it breaks loose only to Granit Xhaka. Xhaka now drops the ball back there to Ricardo Rodriguez. He's now midway inside the England half of the field. Rodriguez drops the ball back to Granit Xhaka, really been a standout player for the Swiss in this tournament so far. It's Xhaka again now. England pressing Switzerland back to the halfway line. But here's Embolo. Gives the ball to Vargas. Vargas tries to play through Arbeischer, but that's a good play by John Stones. Just knocking the ball back to Jordan Pickford. Reading that run by Arbeischer. Switzerland come forward again now with Vargas. Vargas back to Xhaka. Xhaka's going to play the ball forward and down the left-hand side here to Rodriguez. Rodriguez drops the ball there to Granit Xhaka and to the centre line there to Manuel Akanji. And it's Rodriguez again now down the right. And he gives the ball there to Vargas. Vargas skips inside there, but he's stopped in his tracks there by Declan Rice. And finally there is a foul on Kobbie Mainoo by Granit Xhaka. And just shakes his head and walks away. As once again, we see some really good defending by England, Mike. John Stones just nipping in, reading the run from Arbisher.
Yeah, it's very good defending from John Stones there, and actually Kobe Mainu as well. In the second bit of play, and actually Edry Konsa as well, even before that from John Stones. So they're all putting their body on the line at the moment, and they're all standing firm against this Swiss side at the moment.
Well, they are 55% possession with 3 total attempts for England, 45% possession for Switzerland with only 1 attempt. This game is 26 minutes old, and it's still England 0, Switzerland 0 here in Dusseldorf. The header is won by Manuel Akanji, and cutting across to meet that is Fabian Schär. Good work by Schär, just getting into an advanced position, but that's a really, really good challenge there by Kieran Trippier. And the throw-in is taken quickly. He drops it back to Ezri Konsa. And it's Declan Rice now. Across to John Stones, inside the D of his own penalty area. Across there to Konsa again. Good ball forward to Jude Bellingham. Bellingham drops the ball back there to Declan Rice. Declan Rice looking to make some of the long passes that he does for his club side, Arsenal. So effective for Arsenal during the season. Looking to see some of that effectiveness for England. Here's Jude Bellingham. And it's across to Declan Rice. Declan Rice to Kobe Mainu. Back to Declan Rice. And across there to Kyle Walker. Kyle Walker down the right-hand side to Phil Foden, who seems to have switched from the middle to the right. Here's Declan Rice. And it's now back with Konsa, and he gives the ball to John Stones. England in an advanced position here. Kyle Walker lifts the ball over the top. Superb pass to Bukayo Saka. He tries to turn away from Arbisher. Saka gets the cross in there, but it's cleared out by Manuel Akanji and picked up by Ruben Vargas. He drops the ball back to Arbisher. Back to Vargas. Vargas under pressure from Kyle Walker by his own corner flag. And Vargas plays the ball off Walker and puts the ball out of play. And that is going to be a free kick. Going to be a corner, a goal kick, I should say. But as we look again at that ball in the middle, Mike, once again, England not really gambling there, not really going into that 6-yard box, when perhaps that would have been the best chance for them.
Yeah, it was good play from Bukayo Saka again, and Harry Kane, again, not really gambling on it, but Manuel Akanji was kind of alert to the ball into the box, and he knew where Harry Kane was to defend that.
Well, it's going to be a throw-in. And it looks like it was. The official couldn't be closer, could he? As he gives a throw in there. And now on the ball here is Declan Rice. And Declan Rice just plays the ball forward, looking for Jude Bellingham. That's headed out by Manuel Akanji, as England still coming forward, though. And it's now down the right-hand side to Bukayo Saka. Bukayo Saka drops the ball to Jude Bellingham. Bellingham trying to turn right now. And Bellingham lifts the ball, and he tries to lift the ball into the box, but it actually comes off Granit Xhaka, the Arsenal captain, the former Arsenal player, I should say, the Swiss captain, former Arsenal player. I'm sure Mike still wishes he was an Arsenal player. I'd love to see him alongside Declan Rice. That would be some partnership, to be honest, especially now that he's moved on to is it Leverkusen, isn't it? And obviously he's won the Bundesliga, and that pipped Harry Kane to that title. So I'd love to have seen that. But he was a former Arsenal captain, Granit Xhaka, as well. So you're not far wrong. Well, that's good. Making boo-boos. Here is Kobe Mainu, and the ball is with Phil Foden, and he finds Kyle Walker. Kyle Walker from inside the centre circle drops the ball all the way back to Jordan Pickford, as we've had half an hour gone here, and it is 0-0 at the Merkur-Spiel Arena in Dusseldorf, and it really is a beautiful afternoon for football. Here is Remo Freuler for Switzerland. Freuler drops the ball back. That's a decent, patient build-up by Switzerland. It is now with Fabian Schär. He's about 10 yards inside his own half as Schär goes for opposite width of the pitch to Ricardo Rodriguez. Rodriguez drops the ball to Xhaka. Xhaka does a quick 1-2 with Arbeischer, and Granit Xhaka just gives the ball back to Ricardo Rodriguez. Rodriguez has got Vargas alongside him, but he gives the ball to Arbeischer. Nice pass there back to Vargas. Vargas back to Arbeischer. Arbeischer across there to Manuel Akanji. Akanji gives the ball to Freuler. And it's forward to Briel Embolo. Embolo lays the ball off there to Freuler, and it's cleared away there by John Stones and all the way back to Manuel Akanji, all the way back at the halfway line. He returns it to Jan Sommer. It's going to be Switzerland that come forward now with Remo Freuler. Freuler drops the ball back to Manuel Akanji. Akanji gives the ball there to Ricardo Rodriguez. Rodriguez swings the ball towards the back post. There's nobody there, but over on the far side, it's swung into the middle there by Fabian Schär, but it's a really disappointing ball by Schär, as now England coming forward with Jude Bellingham, who clashes with Fabian Schär, and it's going to be a yellow card to...
Oh, I don't know if we've lost Paul there for a second, but that's a yellow card for Fabian Schär there for the foul on Jude Bellingham.
Yeah.
Are you back now?
Yeah, sorry about that. For some reason the mic just turned itself off. I don't know
That's
why.
right, not to worry. But yeah, that was just a yellow card there, and I think a right decision as well from the referee.
Yeah, he seemed to Fabian Schär seemed to step in front of Jude Bellingham there, didn't he, blocking his way? He made no attempt to win the ball.
Yeah, I think the referee's got that spot on for me. Yellow card's the right decision. So, but he's not one of the ones that's going to miss the next game if Switzerland progress. So, he's still got to be careful in this game, though.
Kobbie Mainoo does a step over there and over the halfway line. This is a break for England. Kobbie Mainoo coming forward, finds Kieran Trippier, tries to swing the ball in. England are appealing for handball. The referee says no. And trying to bring that ball under control is Kobbie Mainoo, but instead the free kick has been given the other way. They're appealing for handball, and it looks like there's going to be a VAR check here. Let's just take a look, because the referee pointed to his headset. I mean, it's definitely a handball, but it's nowhere near the penalty area. That really should have been given, but it might be. Yes, there's a foul on Granit Xhaka. But that was as clear a handball as you're ever going to see, Mike.
Yeah, blatant handball for me. Referees. I think he's got away with one there because there was a foul in the build-up just before that. So I think the referee's blushes were spurred a little bit.
Well, it's back with Jan Sommer now, and he releases the ball to Manuel Akanji. Akanji, 34 minutes gone here. It is England 0, Switzerland 0. You're listening to live audio coverage of this Euros quarter-final match between England and Switzerland at the Merkur-Spiel Arena in Dusseldorf. And so far, no goals yet. But here's a cross coming in on the far side there by Fabian Schär, but it's really a fullback's cross, is that? And it goes out of play for a goal kick. We've got 10 minutes to go until half-time here. And what I can tell you is England have had much of the possession in this first half, if you're just joining us. The chances have been precious few created, though. Nobody really there taking advantage of the balls going into the 6-yard box. And England haven't really tested Jan Sommer in this first half, Mike.
No, they haven't as of yet. But then on the flip side, Jordan Pickford's not had to make a save either. So it's 35 minutes or so, which have just been about the defensive play, really, which is not always a bad thing. And obviously England had a few moments in the final third where Bukayo Saka has looked good and is taken to this new position quite well so far.
Well, Jordan Pickford has the ball. He releases it to Ezri Konsa. Konsa gives the ball to Declan Rice. Rice plays the ball out to Kieran Trippier. Kieran Trippier was trying to set Jude Bellingham off on his way there, but Fabian Schär got a good block in there. As England have the ball back now with Konsa, gives the ball to Jude Bellingham. He's got Kane alongside him. Jude Bellingham, he's got options left and right. He's got Phil Foden available. Phil Foden steps over it and allows it to go to Bukayo Saka. Corner of the penalty area, left-hand side. It swung in and it took a deflection there off Jude Bellingham, but it wasn't enough to deceive the goalkeeper, Jan Sommer, and he just picks that one up and will release the ball. But that was, we're just looking here at Jude Bellingham, that was a really impressive step over on Arbeischer. England, they've got some talent in this squad, haven't they? And Jude Bellingham is really the tip of the iceberg as well, isn't he? He's absolutely sensational player, really tearing it up for Real Madrid as well.
Yeah, Jude Bellingham was a sensational player. He was outstanding for Madrid, as you say, last season. He was outstanding for Dortmund before that as well. And obviously, you know, former Birmingham youngster and everything like that has come through and has done very, very well. So, yeah, you know, it's good to have him out there for England today, considering, you know, up until the very, very last minute, I think about yesterday, we weren't sure whether he'd be able to play in this game or not.
Well, here's Remo Freuler. Gives the ball to Granit Xhaka. Across to Fabian Schär. Fabian Schär holds the ball up and gives it back to Granit Xhaka. Xhaka, back to Schär. As now Switzerland taking their time with possession. Cutting inside there is Granit Xhaka with the pass, but it's comfortably won back by England. As just chasing this one all the way back is Ezri Konsa, and he puts the ball out of play. It's going to be a throw-in. That was Kyle Walker, rather. Puts the ball out of play, and it's going to be a throw-in for the Swiss, and it's going to be Arbeischer. Arbeischer drops the ball to Ricardo Rodriguez. Rodriguez drops the ball back into his own half to Manuel Akanji, who gives the ball to the goalkeeper, Jan Sommer. Sommer, back to Akanji. Akanji now over the halfway line, trying to set Mbolo off on his way, but he was marshalled all the way by Mainu there. And the ball goes out of play, and it's going to be a throw into Switzerland. And England really shutting down Mbolo very well.
Yeah, 100%. Obviously, Mbolo was on the score sheet the last time these two nations met in the 2-1 victory for England back in 2022. He was on target for Switzerland that day. Harry Kane and Luke Shaw are on target for England, and you know, I think the defence are very aware of the capabilities that he's got.
Here's Remo Freuler now down the right-hand side, and he just lays the ball off for Dan N'Doye. Dan N'Doye trying to get to the touchline, but he just pushed the ball too far past Declan Rice, and it goes behind for a goal kick. Dan N'Doye already has a goal against Germany in that 1-1 draw. Jordan Pickford now will have the goal kick. We've already got one of the semi-finals sorted. Spain versus France. Yesterday, Germany losing 2-1 to a injury time goal. And for France, they won on penalties against Portugal in a not so entertaining game. So the winners of this game will play the winners of the Netherlands and Turkey game later on, which you can hear on the commentary hub with Ross Vernon. And as it stands, I will be on the co-commentary for that game. Here is Manuel Akanji, drops the ball back to the goalkeeper, Jan Sommer. Sommer holds the ball up and drops the ball back to Akanji again. Akanji now just plays the ball across to Fabian Schär. Here's Arbeischer. Arbeischer just holds the ball up here. He's looking for options. Dan N'Doye. Fabian Schär. Long ball over the top, looking for the chasing Breel Mbolo, but that is well dealt with there by Kyle Walker. And it's Bukayo Saka then who gives the ball back to Walker, who drops it back to the goalkeeper. And Jordan Pickford releases the ball to Ezri Konsa. Declan Rice under pressure there by Remo Freuler, but here is Kyle Walker now down the right-hand side. We got 5 minutes to go till half-time. It's England 0, Switzerland 0. Here's Walker. Gives the ball to Declan Rice. Rice just holds the ball up and gives the ball to Walker. It's an interesting ball back by Walker in the air, and it's just headed down there by Declan Rice to Ezri Konsa. And here is John Stones inside the centre circle. Cross to Ezri Konsa. Back to John Stones. John Stones is just going to turn away from Breland Bowler and send the ball back to the goalkeeper, Jordan Pickford. He releases it to Konsa. And back to Pickford again. And to Kobbie Mainoo. Kobbie Mainoo back to Pickford again. Just putting the goalkeeper under a little bit of pressure with this back passing. Finally, Konsa plays the ball long, looking to Harry Kane. That's won by Akanji with the header, but only finds Declan Rice. And across to Jude Bellingham. It's now with Declan Rice. He drops the ball back to Konsa. He gives the ball to Kobbie Mainoo. Mainoo. Stones. Walker. Foden. Mainoo. And here's Bellingham now on the right-hand side, just over the halfway line. Declan Rice. Mainoo to back again to Bellingham. Bellingham just relieves the ball over to John Stones, and Stones sends the ball down this right-hand side to Bukayo Saka, as England trying to create chances in this first half. Here is Kyle Walker. Across there to Declan Rice. And over to Jude Bellingham. Bellingham to Foden. And there's Trippier. Back to Declan Rice as England knocking the ball about but creating very little as it is so far. And here is Bukayo Saka. Saka has got Arbeischer in front of him. He drops the ball to Kobbie Mainoo. Kyle Walker. Back to Mainoo. And Mainoo to Bukayo Saka. Just turns away and tries to get a shot away, but that's blocked by Arbeischer. And we'll just go out of play for a throw-in. And Mike, maybe I can get your first half assessment on this game so far.
Yeah, I think it's been a very cagey game, as I expected it would be. I think England have had some bright moments, going forward. Switzerland have had a couple as well, but they've always been dealt with quite comfortably by John Stones and Konsa at the back and Walker and Mainoo in the midfield as well. So, yeah, so far it's been a very cagey game, and still awaiting that first real moment of quality to shine through. So, yeah, England have had good possession, very calm on the ball, but without really testing the goalkeeper yet.
Here's Declan Rice across to Ezri Konsa in an advanced position, gives the ball to Kieran Trippier. Trippier on the left wing back position, and here is Phil Foden back to Konsa again. Konsa back to Foden. Foden gives the ball to Bellingham. Bellingham to Konsa. And back then to Bellingham and across to John Stones. Stones down the right-hand side here to Kyle Walker. Walker back to Stones. And Stones sends the ball down the right-hand side to Bukayo Saka. Saka has got Arbeischer in front of him, along with Vargas. They're doubling up on Saka in this first half. And one can see why. Bukayo Saka, incredible player. Here is Walker to Saka again. Saka just trying to cut inside away from Arbeischer. Good work by Saka. Can he get the cross in? Oh, it's pulled back. Oh, what a fine challenge by Granit Xhaka. Oh, it was pulled back to Kobbie Mainoo. And what a vital challenge by Granit Xhaka, Mike.
Yeah, very important challenge from Granit Xhaka there. It did look for all the world that Kobbie Mainoo was about to strike that one into the back of the net past Sommer in the goal for Switzerland. So, yeah, very important challenge for Switzerland, and Granit Xhaka yet again impressing.
Well, corner is going to be taken on the right-hand side, this time to be taken by Phil Foden. And he is going to swing this ball in. And the ball cuts in, and Jan Sommer just blocks that one out the air. That's meat and drink for a goalkeeper of his quality. And he releases the ball quickly. And storming over the halfway line is Dan N'Doye. And he's got Fabian Schär ahead of him. Schär trying to get in the penalty area, and in the end he shoves Ezri Konsa over. And that wasn't the best move by Schär. He has to be careful because he's already been booked, of course. But he gave Konsa a shove there, So that's it. No stoppage time at the end of this first half. It's half time here at the Merkerspiel Arena in Dusseldorf, and it is 0-0 at the break. We're going to send you back to Nicholas now.
All right, thanks, Paul. Very cagey game as you described in commentary between England and Switzerland. Neither side willing to concede. I'd have to say England were ahead in terms of possession and attacking ability. Switzerland slightly behind. Before we go for a break, we'll ask the thoughts of Mike already. Mike, neither side wanting to concede to the other. Is this the build up for what could potentially be an explosive second half?
I'd like to hope so. I'd like to think so. You know, so far in the game, it's been very, very cagey. There's not been an awful lot of clear-cut chances for either side, either nation, really. So, yeah, I'd like to hope so. Obviously, England have options on the bench, as to Switzerland as well, which, you know, those might be used. Cole Palmer might be used for England potentially, or Anthony Gordon. Ivan Toney was impressive off the bench last time out as well. Ollie Watkins maybe. So England have plenty of options if they want to go to the bench, as to Switzerland as well. So, yeah, let's hope for some action in the second half.
Yes, what tactics would you expect Switzerland to come up with in the second half?
I think more of the same for them. I think they're doing very, very well defensively. They need a little bit more creativity going forward potentially. So maybe a Xherdan Shaqiri could potentially come on for them and create, a little bit more going forward. But defensive-wise, they've stood up to everything that England have thrown at them very, very well. So, yeah, I think the manager won't have too much to change at half-time. Maybe when it gets to about 60, 65 minutes, but not straight away.
Okay, thank you. Okay, thanks for now, Mike. We're going to go for a quick break, but join us just before the start of the second half. Oh wait, hold it. We've got Russ Vernon coming in, as he said he would during half time. Hi, Russ. What would you say your thoughts were between England and Switzerland?
Good afternoon, Nicholas. Good afternoon, everybody. I think England have played well today. Yes, I know Switzerland have had a bit of possession, but so there's been times where we've had 2 or 3 minutes of possession. Same with Switzerland, but both teams are looking quite well, Nicholas. I think when you look at the game overall, I think it's like some of the TV pundits have said, it's been probably one of our better performances. And once again, for me, don't know what anybody else thinks, but for me, I don't know what Mike or any of the listeners think, but for me, Kobbie Mainoo is playing absolutely fantastic again today. He's looked good, Mainoo, in this game, and he's looking even more confident as the game goes on. And I know in the earlier rounds, Nicholas, and some people may have seen him mentioned in the media, Gareth Southgate, the England boss, said we haven't got a replacement for Calvin Phillips. Well, I think in that first half, we have seen, and in the games he's played, we have got a replacement for Calvin Phillips, and that comes in the shape of Kobbie Mainoo. Because for me, Kobbie Mainoo has been absolutely fantastic in that first half, and he's just going to grow and grow and grow. And this position he's playing for England and the way he's playing for England is the way he plays for Manchester United. It's a good performance from Mainoo so far.
Yeah, I have to agree with that as well. I think Mainoo's been one of the better players for England. He was last time out in that Slovakia game, as well as Bukayo Saka, who I think has looked really good today as well. He's looked bright going forward and taken to that slightly different position very, very well. So I don't know what your thoughts on his performance are so far. And obviously Harry Kane as well. He's had a few moments where if he'd gambled, then England could have potentially be 1-0 up in this first half so far.
Yeah, mate, you mentioned there Saka. I think he's been he's looked good as well for England, and you can see why a lot of the time England is starting on the left hand side and then moving all the Swiss players across to the left and then working it back over to the right to isolate their left wing back with Saka. Because every time Saka's got the ball, he's got a beating of their left wing back, and that's what England are looking probably. I think Southgate's looking for England to probably work on as well as with the changing formation. So I think what Southgate has done here today, yes, some people may be thinking there's some praise coming in for Gareth Southgate, but with the selection he's played here and where he's gone with, he's been absolute. He's got. I think for me, he's got his spot on here at Southgate with the formation he's playing. Mike, I don't know what you think about that, especially with when I mentioned about how he's played and how he's got the game played for England so far. I don't know what you make of that we've got with Southgate's tactical decisions today. I don't know what you make. Is that whether you think he's got a spot on as well, or whether you think we could do something a bit better with that formation? What do you make to that, Mike? Because I think so far, yes, it's 0-0. But I think Southgate has got a spot on with the tactics and everything and how England are playing today, better than the previous games. Yes, no, it's still 0-0, but I think he's been much better than the previous games from England's performances levels today, Mike.
Yeah, I think he's looking quite good so far. Looking very solid defensively. You know, that back three of Walker, Stones, and Konsa are looking very, very good against Mbolo and the Swiss attack with Mainu and Rice sort of supporting as well. So yeah, you know, I would like to see a bit more from Phil Foden. I think he's been very, very quiet in that first half. And obviously now this is more of his favourite position, playing in a 10 really alongside Bellingham. So I'd like to see a bit more from him. But other than that, yeah, not too bad so far.
Yes, yes, and also yes. Thank you very much, Ross. So we are going to take a bit of a break, but join us again when we return. Welcome back to the Commentary Hub's alternative audio coverage of England against Switzerland in the quarter-finals. Just to quickly remind you that whatever happens, whether this game goes to extra time or penalties or not, we will do our follow-up match of the Netherlands against Turkey, as they could to see who could be the potential semi-finalist for both teams. So we're just about a couple of minutes away from the start of the second half, and Paul and Mike, both sides have really got to apply the pressure harder to the other if one of them is to go through to the semi-finals.
I think definitely both sides want to be pressing a bit in the second half more than they are doing. England have had much of the possession of the ball, but really haven't created much or really forced Jan Sommer into a save. The same can be said of Switzerland, of course. They've not really forced Jordan Pickford into a save either. But the onus has to be on England as much as the possession has been with the English. So the players are about ready to come out for the second half, Nick.
Yes, good call. So now let's hand over back over to Mike and Paul for the second half.
Well, the England players, thanks, Nick. The England players are coming out for the start of the second half. The Swiss players still in the tunnel there, just maybe some delaying tactics. The referee just waiting. He's looking at his watch. He needs those players out there, and the Swiss players still waiting for one reason or another. Maybe some gamesmanship there by the head coach for Switzerland, Murat Yakin. But Switzerland now just slowly making their way out. There doesn't appear to be any changes by either side. But they're still, the players for Switzerland still not coming out. England players are on the pitch. Gareth Southgate has taken his position on the bench. Gamesmanship, Mike?
Possibly it's a tactic from Switzerland, or maybe just some last-minute instructions from the captain potentially in the dressing room as well. Not in the dressing room, sorry, in the tunnel as well. You don't really know whether it's part of the game plan or what, but the teams are back out and we'll be back underway for the second half in a minute anyway. So we will have some action again soon.
All right. Well, Switzerland are going to get the second half underway. Remo Freuler is standing over the ball in this magnificent arena. Some of the stadiums that they have here in Germany are just absolutely beautiful. I have to say, this is the Merkur Spiel Arena in Dusseldorf, hosting its final match. The semi-finals will be played at Munich and Dortmund. So the winners of this match will go through to the semi-final and play either the Netherlands or France in Dortmund. So the game gets back underway with Switzerland attacking from left to right in this second half. And here's Granit Xhaka. Plays the ball across there to, I think that's Manuel. That's, just not quite sure who that is. It's Ricardo Rodriguez. Ricardo Rodriguez drops the ball back to the goalkeeper, Sommer. And Sommer holds the ball up now. Just going to take his time and plays the ball here to Fabian Schär, who just drops the ball to Manuel Akanji. Akanji back to the goalkeeper. Switzerland building up from the back here. Long ball by Switzerland, by Jan Sommer. He's looking for Briel Mbolo, but cutting across well there is Kyle Walker and gets it back to Jordan Pickford in the England goal. Here's Phil Foden. Foden plays the ball across to Ezri Konsa, just down the left-hand side. Konsa plays the ball forward to Jude Bellingham. Oh, he turns away beautifully there from Rodriguez. And here's Bellingham storming into the penalty area. Great run by Bellingham, but a good interception there by Manuel Akanji, stopping that ball in its track. but it's back with Jude Bellingham again. Lifts across over to the back post, and that's again good piece of defending, this time by Arbasher and Saka. Saka has the ball, though. He gets a shot away again, but it's blocked. Good work by Arbasher there. The Swiss defence holding up strong there, Mike.
Yeah, they are. In particular, Akanji and Arbasher there, as you say, both defended very, very well there. As you've come to see a lot from them in the tournament so far, and in the club as well for Man City. In Akanji's case,
here's Kyle Walker. Plays the ball down the right to Saka. Saka just cutting away there, gives the ball to Mainu. Back to Walker. And here's Phil Foden now, who's also down the right there. Gives the ball back to Mainu. Mainu tried to play the ball in the middle. It's finally hooked away by Arbasher. All the way to the centre circle to be picked up by Ezri Konsa. Konsa plays the ball down the left here to Kieran Trippier. Trippier sends the ball to Declan Rice. Declan Rice under pressure here by Fabian Schär. And he wins the ball back there. And Dan Ndoye is back there as well, helping out. Here is Briel Mbolo. Mbolo, he's been isolated right there on his own, and he's easily dispossessed by Kyle Walker. And Kyle Walker now plays the ball across there to Phil Foden. Foden, he's got options left and right. He's got Mainu and he's got Saka. He decides to go with Saka. Saka's got Arbasher in front of him. Gives the ball back to Phil Foden, who's dispossessed. And now Switzerland can perhaps break. And it's across with Arbasher and making the pass there. Was intercepted well by Kyle Walker. And England win the ball back with Bukayo Saka. And he tries to turn away there from Vargas, but the game will in fact go on. Everyone stopped for a moment like the referee had blown his whistle. And here is Konsa. He just drops the ball back to John Stones. John Stones gives the ball to Jude Bellingham now. England turning the screws in the second half. It's a good ball across to Kyle Walker. Kyle Walker. Oh, a long ball over to Kieran Trippier. He only just kept that in play. That was almost a perfect ball, which was then headed into the penalty area by Trippier and picked up by Jan Sommer. Again, the ball's long over the top, down to the left and the right by England. Seem to be paying off, Mike.
Yeah, for sure. There's a couple of good switches of play there from Kyle Walker, Kieran Trippier as well. You know, really, just pinging the balls across the width of the pitch, really, and trying to use the whole width of the pitch, which I think is going to be a good thing later on in the game when the Switzerland's backline starts to tire a little bit.
Well, we've got what looks like a free kick here. Ruben Vargas went down. Oh, I have to say, Mike, he went down like he'd been hit by a Mack truck.
Yeah, he did. I wasn't really sure there was an awful lot in it, but I think he's all right now anyway, and good to continue. But yeah, it's not the kind of thing you'd like to see really at all.
No, and it's Manuel Akanji now. Akanji gives the ball down this right-hand side to Fabian Schär, and Fabian Schär drops the ball back to the goalkeeper, Jan Sommer, as this game now is 5 minutes old in the second half. It's England 0, Switzerland 0. And if things carry on the way that they are, Mike, I don't envy your job today, picking the player of the match. The ball is across on the far side there to Arbasher. Arbasher drops the ball to Remo Freuler. Freuler just drops the ball back to Akanji. Akanji. Back to Freuler. Oh, a nice pass over there to Arbasher. Back to Freuler. And there is Granit Xhaka. Xhaka again gets the ball back. Oh, that's a really good ball by Granit Xhaka. Good vision there. And here's Briel Mbolo in the penalty area. Can he turn and get the shot away? He can. But it's very, very tame effort and just comfortably picked up by Jordan Pickford. Nice idea by the Swiss, though.
Yeah, it was. It was good play from Switzerland there. And Mbolo battling well with Ezri Konsa and had the beating of him. Konsa looks in a little bit of pain there as well and is going to probably need a bit of treatment. But good play from Switzerland who, really could have been 1-0 up there with a little bit of a stronger effort from their main front man there in Mbolo.
I think when he turned, he just wasn't able to get the connection properly off that he wanted to get. But we all know how effective Guilherme Bolo is, and England can't afford to give him too many chances in and around the penalty area. As Ezri Konsa is now back on his feet, and is back with Jordan Pickford. He picks the ball up now, and in no immediate hurry. Drops the ball down, does Pickford, and releases it downfield left-footed. Up there goes Bukayo Saka. That's a good interception by Arbasha, but then all the way back to the goalkeeper. That was an interesting play there by Rodriguez. And Owen's got it back now as Rodriguez. Gives it to Granit Xhaka. Back to Rodriguez. He launches the ball forward, looking for Freuler, but that header was won comfortably by Declan Rice. And here's Kobe Mainoo. Skips into the penalty area. Back to Bukayo Saka. Can he get the cross in, Saka? It's a poor one. Granit Xhaka comfortably wins that. And the official's flag comes up on the far side anyway. So it'd be a free kick to Switzerland. And once again, what I noticed with England in the game against Slovakia is something very similar here, Mike. I'm seeing that just the final ball in a lot of the time isn't there as well. England just failing to connect between Saka, Foden, and Bellingham with Kane. There seems to be a disconnect there.
Yeah, I'd have to agree as well. I think Phil Foden in particular was very, very quiet in that first 45, and he's not got going in the first sort of 8 or 9 of the second half either as of yet. So potentially he might be one to be replaced. Obviously, I was saying at half-time there are options. There's Anthony Gordon, there's Cole Palmer, Jarrod Bowen being another one amongst players that can come on the pitch for England and offer a little bit more width.
Well, it's a free kick here, and as Konsa goes down, and England have the ball now with Konsa from that free kick, and the ball is played forward by Kyle Walker, looking for Bukayo Saka. He just drops the ball back there to Phil Foden, and it's back with Kyle Walker again, just inside his own half of the field. Gives the ball to Declan Rice. Kyle Walker over the halfway line to Phil Foden, and back to Kyle Walker. And he just holds the ball up there, and he tries to play the pass there to Bukayo Saka. Now it gets there in the end, but Vargas almost intercepted that, and it's out of play now, and it's going to be a throw-in to England. Well, Ruben Vargas has been pretty lively today. Here's Manuel Akanji. He gives the ball there to Fabian Schär. Good long ball by Fabian Schär, and Vargas takes the ball down now, and he gives the ball to Remo Freuler. And Switzerland coming forward with Xhaka. Oh, Xhaka is dispossessed. And that's by Phil Foden. And here is Kobe Mainoo. Kobe Mainoo tries to set off Saka on his way, but that's a really good interception that time by Arbasha. Goes out of play for a throw-in to England. Mike, are we perhaps not giving Switzerland that credit? Because they really have defended very, very well in this game so far, haven't they?
Yes, they have. They have defended very, very well. Me being English, there's going to be an English bias on that. And obviously I want England to win the game. But yeah, I have been impressed with the Swiss defence. I think Akanji, Schär, and Arbasha, etc., have stood up to this English play very, very well so far. And we've got a comment here from Richard Wright. I don't know if it's the old Arsenal and Everton goalkeeper, by the way. It might well be. It might not be. But he was saying, what time is the match on? Using your guys' commentary as an overlay as watching in Spain. Well, we're 55 minutes in. We're 10 minutes into the second half, and it's still 0-0. It's an audio coverage, by the way. I don't know if you were expecting it to be pictures or anything like that, but it's an alternative audio coverage that we bring. But yeah, I don't know if it's the old goalkeeper. It'd be funny if it was.
He was a good goalkeeper too, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was. He was a great goalkeeper. Yeah, he was at Ipswich as well, of course.
Yeah. Here's Granit Xhaka. He gives the ball down the right-hand side there to Fabian Schär, and here is Granit Xhaka now. Xhaka sets off Rodriguez on his way. Corner of the penalty area, left-hand side. It's swung in, and almost Guilherme Bolo got the header on that, and it bounced very fortunately for Jordan Pickford, as you see the cross swinging in there by Ricardo Rodriguez. Easily the best ball of the match so far by Switzerland. And that is really good defending by Ezra Konsa, Mike. He really got himself ahead of that and prevented that direct header, because that very well could have been 1-0 to Switzerland.
Yeah, it's a good ball in from Rodriguez, and then good bit of defending from Konsa, who's stood up very, very well actually in place of Mark Gay. I think he's looked very bright, and I think that's one of Gareth Southgate's big pluses from this opening 57 minutes or so of the game. You know, if I was to sort of have an opinion on things, you know, if I was Gareth Southgate, I'd be very impressed with the way that he's defended so far throughout this game.
It's Phil Foden. Gives the ball to Jude Bellingham. Bellingham drops the ball down the right-hand side to Bukayo Saka. Saka over to Bellingham. He's holding the ball up, corner of the penalty area, right-hand side. Gives the ball to Declan Rice. Declan Rice just trying to turn away there from the number 26 for Switzerland, which is Fabian Rieder. He's been very quiet in this game. Here's Foden. It's a long ball over the top there. The header by Trippier, trying to find Harry Kane, but Manuel Akanji gets in the way of that, and it's finally put out of play by Rieder. And it's going to be a throw-in to England, as England looking to try to take the lead in this game and get themselves ahead. We've got Joe Smoke in the comment section, says Switzerland 1-0. That's a brave call, isn't it?
It is, considering how the game's gone. I don't think Switzerland have really done an awful lot so far to warrant that prediction. But, you know, anything's possible.
Here's Saka. Gives the ball back there to Kyle Walker. Corner of the penalty area, right-hand side. Kyle Walker gives the ball to Bukayo Saka. He launches the ball in the box. Xhaka heads it out. It's helped along by Arbisha. Finally, Briel Mbola tries to get in the way of that, but it bounces back to Manuel Akanji, and it's a long ball to Dan Ndoye, and he's going over there with Ezri Konsa. Dan Ndoye tries to put Vargas through, or Rieder, I should say. I'm sorry. Here is Dan Ndoye. Gives the ball to Rieder again, and he then plays the ball off Declan Rice, and it goes behind for a Swiss corner, and we haven't had too many of them today. But it's a corner from the right-hand side, and you can see here it's going to be taken. It's going to go over there. I thought Rieder was going to go over there and take it, but he seems to have left it alone. But let's take a look at this long ball over the top. It really was a good one, setting off Dan Ndoye on his way. And the corner is it going to be taken by Rieder after all? Yes, it is. So it's going to be Rieder that's going to take this corner. No, he's actually left it for Ruben Vargas. Make up your mind, guys. Ruben Vargas is going to take this corner, and he's going to outswing it, I should suspect. As Switzerland packing the penalty area. 6 coming in, and another 2 coming into the penalty area. It's played short to Rieder. I'm not sure whether Rieder was expecting that. It's dropped back to Rodriguez. It's launched back to Vargas. But that's really good defending by Bukayo Saka. Just getting across and putting that ball out of play again. Really good awareness again by Saka as he just tracks Vargas's run there, Mike.
Yeah, it's good play from Bukayo Saka there, doing his defensive duties very, very well.
It's going to be a corner here to Switzerland, and it's going to be taken by Rieder again. This time it's a poor one by Rieder. Getting across there was Konsa and putting the ball out of play, and it's going to be a throw-in. And I don't know about you, Mike, but my personal opinion is if you can't beat the first man on a corner, that should be 2 weeks' wages fine for me.
It's quite harsh, but yeah, maybe. Especially, yeah, I suppose, you know, being a professional footballer, potentially, but yeah, I think I don't know. You're in a harsh mood today, Paul.
I have my reasons. Here's Vargas under pressure there, breaking away now. It's Vargas. Can he get the cross in? He tries to find Briel Mbola in the box, but it's cleared away by Kyle Walker, and then Saka tries to help it on its way. Only as far as Remo Freuler. It's brought down by Fabian Schär now. He's coming forward. It breaks loose to Vargas, who gives the ball to Freuler. Freuler cutting inside, and it's a switch up and play with Rieder to crossed in by Vargas, and it's almost won back by Foden. And Foden nearly brings down Fabian Schär there on top of that. Finally, it's cleared by England, and it's picked up by Manuel Akanji. And here's Rodriguez. Rodriguez holds the ball up. He's midway inside the England half of the field. And here's Freuler. Freuler, good ball forward there. And here is Fabian Schär. He gives the ball to Dan Ndoye. Ndoye across there to Freuler. Freuler holds the ball up. He's got Vargas down the right here. Vargas is right in front of Trippier. Vargas just holds the ball up. He's got Ndoye overlapping. Ndoye picks up the ball here now. And he pulls the ball back there to the number 22 there for Switzerland. And that is Fabian Schär. Fabian Schär just holds the ball up and now plays the ball to Dan Ndoye. Dan Ndoye got a bit of space in front of him. Will he try getting a shot away? No, he pulls it back there to Rodriguez. Rodriguez is over to Arbeischer. Arbeischer, that's a poor pass by him. And coming forward now is England, but Harry Kane is brought down. And it's going to be a free kick to England. It's going to be any additional action taken by the referee for the tackle on Kobe Mainoo by Reader. It doesn't appear to be so. And we're going to get a free kick. There was 2 fouls there, I would argue. Double substitution now coming up for Switzerland. It's number 3 and number 14. Number 3 and number 14. So Reader and Vargas are going off. And Vidmar and Zuber are coming on. So that's Reader has been quiet today, Mike.
But yeah, Vargas, he has. It's interesting to see that Vargas is coming off, though. He's been quite a bright player for Switzerland throughout this tournament so far. So it's not a bad thing from England's point of view that he's making way.
Yeah, I'm quite surprised at that. Ruben Vargas and Fabian Reader are off. Zuber and Vidmar are on. Zuber wearing 14, Vidmar wearing 3. If you are following along with the commentary while watching, as here is the number 4, Declan Rice. Declan Rice he was going to go over the halfway line. He decides to drop it back to Kyle Walker. Picked up there in the middle is John Stones. Sends it now down this left-hand side to Ezri Konsa. Konsa drops it back to John Stones over the halfway line. And here is Phil Foden. He's got Trippier on his way down the left-hand side. Trippier overlapping now is Foden. Can he get a good cross in here, Foden? He can. And it's a wonderful interception that time by Zuber, the substitute, getting involved. He's claiming it came off the English player last. I'm not sure on that one, Mike. Let's take a look. The cross coming in by Phil Foden. Difficult to tell from that angle, but we'll get our view. Oh, yes, it did come off Bellingham, didn't it?
Yeah, it did. That was actually a very good referee, and he was right there with that decision. Zuber had every right to be aggrieved that was potentially going to go England's way. So, good officiating there.
Well, here's Manuel Akanji now. Just takes it outside of his own penalty area. He's got in front of him there was Harry Kane, and it's now with Xhaka. Drops the ball back to the goalkeeper. Xhaka again, corner of the penalty area, right-hand side from Switzerland's perspective. 25 minutes to go here. We've already had a couple of substitutes for Switzerland. Nothing yet for England. As here over the halfway line comes Fabian Schär. That's a good challenge, but the ball breaks loose to Mbolo and finally to Zuber. To Vidmar, I should say. And here's Xhaka. Xhaka over on the far side to Rodriguez. Corner of the penalty area, left-hand side. Rodriguez gets across, and that's a good header by Konsa, but it only comes as far as Zuber on the edge of the penalty area, and he blazes a shot over the crossbar, and that was actually Arbeischer, I'm sorry. Just caught that on the volley, but got his foot underneath it, Mike.
Yeah, he did. It was good play from Switzerland, and then obviously Arbeischer there just couldn't direct it on target and to test Jordan Pickford. But Switzerland have had a few decent moments in the second half so far, as well as keeping England at bay as well.
Are you surprised that Southgate hasn't reached for his substitutions as of yet?
Yeah, potentially. I don't think it'd be too long if the score remains the same and the game remains the same as it is. As Harry Kane, I think, just entered the book now, and I think that means he's suspended, doesn't it? If England progress.
Well, if he is Harry Kane, yes, he is suspended. Let's take a look. Let's double check that information. No, he's not actually. So if it would have been Phil Foden, he would have been, and it's for the arm across the face of Manuel Akanji. So a yellow card for the England skipper. And Manuel Akanji down, clutching his face. I don't think it was quite that bad. But Harry Kane protests, but the referee.
Yeah, I didn't think there was anything too much in it either. Just going back to the point I was going to make regarding the subs as well. I don't think it'd be long until Gareth Southgate goes to the bench now. I think maybe another 3 or 4 minutes potentially, unless England can get their noses in front in the meantime.
Well, here's Akanji. Just gives the ball to Xhaka as they pass the ball about a little bit between them. As Xhaka gives the ball once again to Akanji and back again to Xhaka. So quite happy just to keep possession for a time are Switzerland here. And the ball is played across to Rodriguez. Rodriguez launches the ball forward. Chasing this one now is Zuba. Zuba drops the ball back there to Vargas. Vargas skips inside the penalty area. He's looking to get the shot away here. He goes down. No penalty, and no question of that being a penalty. Harry Kane trying to just skip away from Remo Freuler, but with also Zuba there as well. He does a good job of that. And here is Kobe Mainoo. Mainoo gives the ball to Bukayo Saka, but it drops back there now to Akanji. Good ball to Xhaka again. And it's Arbeischer. Good ball forward, and it's picked up by Xhaka. Xhaka. And here's Akanji. Akanji, good ball to Fabian Schär. And here's Wiedmer. Wiedmer drops the ball back into midfield to the centre-back Manuel Akanji, and it's Granit Xhaka. Xhaka, the ball down the right-hand side to Wiedmer again. Wiedmer drops the ball back to Fabian Schär. And, well, it's Akanji again, forward to Embolo. Embolo just trying to turn away from Ezri Konsa, who's done such a good job on Embolo today. Xhaka gives the ball to Akanji. Gives the ball over to the right-hand side there to the number 13, Rodriguez. Going down under the challenge there, what looked like Dan N'Doye. Seems to have switched over from the right side to the left, and N'Doye is pointing at something there, as if indicating he was fouled by Foden. But he has got a free kick, but no further action on Dan N'Doye. As it was a combination, actually, of Saka and Walker in the end. I didn't see a lot wrong with that, to be honest with you, Mike.
No, I didn't think there was an awful lot in it either. I wasn't really convinced by that one at all.
Well, Harry Kane gets the free kick. As the Swiss fans cheering now. 20 minutes to go in normal time. Here's Trippier. Down the left-hand side, gives the ball to Jude Bellingham. Bellingham cuts inside there from the left. Gives the ball back to Trippier. England looking for a decent ball into the box. Trippier drops the ball back there to Declan Rice. Rice back to Trippier down the left-hand side. Trippier holds the ball up. Takes it back to the centre line and gives it across to John Stones. In an advanced position here, John Stones trying to skip away from Freuler. Gives the ball to Mainoo. Nice pass back to Phil Foden. Got space in front of him. Foden with the cross looking for Harry Kane. Not able to get there, Harry Kane. And Arbeischer just hooks it out, but really only as far as Granit Xhaka. Back to help him is Zuba. And clearing up at the back is Granit Xhaka. But here's Zuba again. As he plays the ball forward there, looking for Embolo, but this time is marshalled well by the centre-back for England, Kyle Walker, and he wins a throw-in as a consequence of that. Takes it quickly and gives it to Declan Rice. And England now have it with Ezri Konsa. And it's Phil Foden coming forward here. Gives it to Jude Bellingham now, midway inside the Swiss half of the field. Back to Kobe Mainoo. Mainoo down to Kyle Walker. Over on the far side there is Bukayo Saka. And it's Foden. Foden lifts the ball towards the back post, looking for Kieran Trippier, but getting a header on that really, really well is Sylvain Bidmore, the substitute, and Trippier has to marshal the ball out of play for a throw-in, as England really struggling to break down this Swiss defence at the moment. Here is Jude Bellingham. He drops the ball back to Declan Rice. Let's see what England can do now. Declan Rice holds the ball up, gives it to Kieran Trippier, and he sets off Jude Bellingham on his way. Can he get the cross in, Jude Bellingham? He tries to cut inside Xhaka, and he blocks it, does Granit Xhaka, and then he gets a foot into the head, which Bellingham has said is an accident, which I'm sure is the case. But he's trying to get Granit Xhaka on his feet, but I think when you get a kick in the head, you should rather leave the head alone, Mike.
Yeah, I think so as well. Particularly, I think you've got to be careful there with Jude Bellingham as well. I think Bellingham is one that if he gets a yellow, will be suspended for the next game, which would be quite ironic considering that he's already got a suspension, which could potentially roll over into the next game anyway if England wanted to use it in that game that was. But that's a talking point for maybe at the end of the game.
Yeah, I don't think it was yellow card worthy, to be honest. I know that the European referees do like to give yellow cards for high feet, but you have to understand that football's a physical game, and there's going to be contact. They're going to be going for balls with the feet, and sometimes those unfortunate connections are going to be made.
Yeah, I think I'd have to agree with that as well. We're still awaiting that first sub for England as well, which I'm a little bit surprised by. Well, actually, I say surprised. It's Gareth Southgate. I'm not actually overly surprised considering how long it took until he went to the bench last time. But hopefully the changes will come soon, because I think England are starting to need them a little bit, starting to tire a little bit for me.
Here's Remo Freuler. Gives the ball there to Xhaka. And Xhaka just gives the ball there to Zuba. Granit Xhaka has the ball again. Gives the ball to Manuel Akanji in a very advanced position. He's got Fabian Schär here on the right-hand side, corner of the penalty area. Good ball by Schär. And it's played across by Darren Doyle, and it's touched into the net. And Switzerland have scored. And it's Breel Mbola on 74 minutes. And how will England respond to this? It's Breel Mbola who gives Switzerland the lead on 74 minutes. And he just touched the ball over the net just once he got free of his marker. He's not been able to do for this entire game, but just this one time, he touches the ball into the net past Jordan Pickford. And Mike, what do England do from this point on?
It's interesting, isn't it, to see whether England can bounce back again. But again, it's gonna have to be coming from behind. But Mbola, we touched on him earlier, has a good record against scoring against England. He scored against England in the previous meeting back in 2022, which I mentioned before. And a striker of his caliber is not going to miss from, what was it, about a yard out, basically. So, poor defending from England for me on the goal. But Mbola, right place, right time to tuck it in.
I think he got lucky a little bit, Mbola, because it got a deflection off John Stones as well, which I think diverted the ball into Mbolo's path. That might have given him an extra edge over Kyle Walker there. But taking nothing away from Switzerland, this really is as a cock's rain onto the pitch as well from that side. But Switzerland are 1-0 up now, and England really have to be a lot more direct. Here's Kieran Trippier. Trippier back to Jude Bellingham, and Bellingham back here to John Stones, who gives the ball back to Jude Bellingham now. Bellingham sends the ball there to Kieran Trippier. Trippier gives the ball back to Bellingham. Bellingham lifts the ball into the penalty area and it's headed up into the air, perhaps off Rodriguez. It bounces back there to Trippier. Trippier again, and I think now really England should be warming up their substitutes and they really need to be looking at a more direct play, Mike. At the moment, England's still stroking the ball around like it's 0-0. Here's Bukayo Saka.
100%. Yeah, 100%. England are really... I don't get it why Gareth Southgate's taking so long to go to the bench again. I'm really, baffled by it.
Well, he did the same thing against Switzerland, against Slovakia, didn't he? He took a long time to go to the bench. In the end, he pulled Ivan Toney on in the last minute of the game, which at the time I thought was rather pointless because all it was doing was eating up time in stoppage time. But it worked out to be quite well for England in the end. But I don't think he wants to leave it as late as that this time.
No, I think I can see that it looks like there's a triple substitution about to be made by England though. So Gareth Southgate's playing, 3 of his cards all in one now.
Yeah, it looks like it's Ezri is 1. 24 is Cole Palmer. Not surprised to see him. And I'm not sure who the other one is. That looks like it's Luke Shaw, isn't it? That's an interesting one.
Yeah, Luke Shaw's first appearance at the tournament. Yeah, it looks like he's about to get on for the last, 13, 14 minutes of normal time, plus if it goes to extra time, yeah.
Well, Jude Bellingham looks like it's 1 coming off, but I'm really surprised to see Luke Shaw. He hasn't played in several months, and Bellingham wants to know why he's being substituted. And there seems to be some confusion going on with who's going off and who's coming on. The fourth official is Daniel Siebert from Germany. He's just having some issues with a placard there, but we're going to try and see now whether we're going to get this substitution taking place or not. For the time being, we are not. And the throw-in is going to be taken here for Switzerland by Vidmar, and it's just inside England's half of the field. I don't know whether the substitutes have come on or not, to be perfectly honest. I didn't see anybody go off. Did you, Mike?
I think Eze's on. I can see Eze there. I can see Cole Palmer's on as well. So at least 2 have been made. I didn't see who came off though.
Okay, well, we'll get that answer in a moment as the ball is knocked out of play. And I'll just try and get the answer for you for those substitutions because I didn't see any of them come off. But we'll take.
It was Kobe Mainoo and Kieran Trippier, and Eze and Shaw have come on. But I'm sure I just saw Cole Palmer as well. Yeah, I can see Cole Palmer as well. So I'm not sure who he's come on for. Sorry.
Okay, so it's been that Mainoo and Trippier have come off. Shaw and Eze have come on. So Mainoo and Trippier off. Shaw and Eze are on. That's interesting to take Trippier off at this point. Mainoo as well. I thought Mainoo had played quite well today.
Yeah, Mainoo has had a good game, yeah.
Okay, so Eze is on, and so is Luke Shaw. Eberechi Eze wearing 21, Shaw wearing number 3, as here's Declan Rice, across to Bukayo Saka. Bukayo Saka cutting across, gets a shot away, and it's in! Saka has equalised! And England are level! And that is an absolutely outstanding strike by Bukayo Saka. Well, Mike, what about that? He just cut in from the right-hand side and drilled it past the goalkeeper. And Bukayo Saka levels the score for England.
Yeah, it's a lovely goal from Bukayo Saka there. I think it takes a little nick off the post on the way in as well. And Sommer in the Switzerland goal had absolutely no chance. So, yeah, great finish from Bukayo Saka. And I think he deserves that on the balance of how he's played so far in this 80 minutes or so we've had too.
Well, 1-1. As we've had a whole bunch of comments in the comment section I've not had a chance to read yet. Joe Smoke celebrating Switzerland. He's now not going to be celebrating since that equaliser. Sue says, I don't know why he's taking Bellingham off. He's our best player. Well, he didn't take him off ultimately. Cole Palmer has now come on for Ezri Konsa. So it looks like Ezri Konsa has gone off and Cole Palmer has come on. So it doesn't look like Jude Bellingham has come off on this occasion. So I apologise.
No, Bellingham's still still there. I can see Bellingham, and it looks like England are going with a back four, I guess now. So strangely, it looks like Kyle Walker and John Stones is the partnership with Kieran Trippier at right back and Luke Shaw at left back. So Bukayo Saka's moved further forward, and that's paid off already with a goal.
Okay, well, England coming forward now, looking to win this in normal time. It's Luke Shaw. He drops the ball down to the left-hand side and then gives the ball to Cole Palmer. Palmer just sets off Luke Shaw on his way. He gets a cross in, and it's headed out there by Fabian Schär. As England, well, they are looking at, for the time being, they'll be very happy they're back in this game. The English fans behind the goal in jubilant mood. Vidmar now takes a throw in, level with his own penalty area. Just drops it down to Xhaka, and Vidmar just launches the ball forward. It's headed on by Mbolo, but Vidmar comes back to collect that, and he just punches the ball forward and out of play. And it's going to be a throw in. Bukayo Saka, his first goal in these Euros. Here's Stones. And he gives the ball to Declan Rice. Declan Rice, cross to Bukayo Saka. Is he going to try the same thing again to cut inside from the right-hand side? Indeed he does. He may try another effort. He launches the ball into the box. Oh, and it bounces around there. Kane finally gets the shot away, but that is blocked by Manuel Akanji. And now Switzerland coming forward. Breel Embolo is fouled. And it's going to be a free kick to Switzerland. And it's taken quickly. And can Switzerland get away here? But that is good defending by Luke Shaw, cutting across Dan Ndoye there. And the ball
Luke Shaw doing very, very well there. It didn't look like a player that's not played in months. He done well there. And incidentally, Kieran Trippier did make way for Luke Shaw, which already I think you touched on. So it looks like Bukayo Saka still playing right full back.
Okay, so it's a free kick here. A throw in here rather to Switzerland, and Vidmar takes it. He just throws the ball back to Fabian Schär. And England now just standing off Switzerland. It's Manuel Akanji as we are going towards 6 minutes remaining in this game in regulation. And the ball is played over to the left-hand side, and Rodriguez drops it back. And it's Freuler there, just getting in the way of that one. And it's now with Fabian Schär. Mbolo, the goal scorer for Switzerland. Back to Akanji. Played forward there by Freuler. And it's picked up by Rodriguez. Rodriguez forward down the right-hand side as it's Dan Ndoye. Plays a cross into the middle. It's headed out that time once again by Luke Shaw. And now it's Cole Palmer on his way. He's got Vidmar in front of him as Cole Palmer. Palmer just tries to pull the ball away there, and he's fouled that time by Dan Ndoye, but it's taken quickly, the free kick. As the referee now seems to have stopped play. Not sure what he stopped play for. He didn't allow the free kick to be taken quickly. And it's going to be, yes, you can see Vidmar just had his arm almost in the hand there. He's almost grabbing a hold of Cole Palmer's hand there. And a yellow card for Vidmar as a consequence for that on 85 minutes. Mike, 5 minutes left. Do you think England can grab it in normal time? Do you think either of these two teams can grab it in normal time? Or are we going to be subjected to 30 minutes of extra time?
It's going to be interesting to see what happens now that England have got the goal as well with Bukayo Saka on the score sheet just not too long ago to level it up. So, I'd like to see a late winner, but I personally think we're going to go for another 30.
Well, here's John Stones for England. I think the game desperately needed that goal. We saw a lot more of a direct approach from England. Bukayo Saka with that strike, putting England level. Here's Cole Palmer. And it's now with Luke Shaw. Shaw does a quick 1-2 there. And he gets the ball back, and it's Phil Foden tries to find Shaw again. Shaw steps away from Dan Ndoye and plays the ball to Declan Rice. Declan Rice, and picked up here by Eze. Eze plays a quick 1-2 with Foden, and it's back to back to Rice again, down to Bukayo Saka, who's been just so dangerous down that right-hand side. Here's Bellingham. Bellingham, can he get space for a shot here, Jude Bellingham? No, that's a fine challenge. But it breaks back to Bellingham again. And now he sets off Bukayo Saka, cross towards the back post, but it's over everybody's head and goes out of play for a throw into Switzerland. Well, that was an opportunity for England there, Mike.
Yeah, it was just a little bit of an overhit ball in the final ball into the box there. So England are looking to try and get that all-important late goal now to win the game. But I've got to be wary of Switzerland on the counter as well, of course.
Well, given fitness involved, I think both teams would not want to go to extra time. I mean, England, of course, had extra time against Slovakia. The game is on Wednesday, the semi-final in Dortmund. So I don't think either of these teams will really want another 30 minutes of this. The ball is played forward and out of play for a throw into England. And it's going to be left to Luke Shaw. Luke Shaw now looking for options. He throws it back to John Stones. There's 2.5 minutes remaining in this game. I'll get you to hold off to your player of the match for now, Mike. We'll look at towards the end of the first period of extra time if it goes that far. And here's Kyle Walker to Bukayo Saka. Saka now cuts inside. Back to Walker. And across to Cole Palmer. Nice ball by Palmer to Eberici Eze. Eze now is in front of Vidmar. Eze gets a bit of space. Can he get a shot over? Oh, it's disappointing by Eze. He tries to get a shot away. He pulls it wide. And I have to be honest with you, Mike, there were maybe better options in the box as well.
Yeah, there were. That was just dragged wide there from Eze. And originally he did very, very well. But then with the final effort, was a poor effort. And he probably should have played it into the box, as you say, yeah.
Okay, well, Manuel Akanji plays the ball across to Fabian Schär. Schär is dispossessed this time by Cole Palmer, but he brings down Cole Palmer, and it's going to be a free kick to England. Fabian Schär has already been booked, so keep your mouth shut. It looks like it was a late challenge as well. Referee being reasonable under these circumstances. Sue Hedges agrees with me, by the way. I think I agree with Mike on that one. I hope it's not going to happen, though, but it looks like it might. And, well, the free kick is going to be taken down the left-hand side, and it's going to be Phil Foden that's going to swing this one in. It's level with the penalty area, a yard or two in from the touchline. It's swung in by Foden and just pushed away there by Jan Sommer, only as far as Saka on the right-hand side. Cole Palmer swings that ball in. It's headed out by Akanji. And now Switzerland can break with Zuber. Zuber sets the ball forward for Dan Ndoye down the left-hand side. Here goes Ndoye. He's got options available, including Embolo in the middle. But Ndoye tries the shot, but it's ballooned over the crossbar. Poor effort by Dan Ndoye, Mike.
Yeah, it was, but it's a very good game of football. It's we're entering the injury time period now, but end to end, and both nations want to try and win it. Well,
I think we definitely needed a first goal, because prior to that first goal, Mike, it certainly wasn't the best game. But we're seeing a much more of an improvement by both sides with the end-to-end football, and extra time is looking very ominous now. We're just going to see how much stoppage time is going to be added at the end of this game. I expect it'll be about 3 or 4 minutes. And it's just come up now. It is 3 minutes stoppage time as Xhaka picks up the ball, drops it back. And here's Fabian Schär. Fabian Schär goes all the way back to Jan Sommer. 3 minutes of injury time before we go to extra time. Can one of these teams get a winner? Here's Granit Xhaka. And it's Manuel Akanji. Back to Xhaka. Xhaka holds the ball up, played forward there. And Remo Freuler just leaves the ball to Zuber. Zuber gives the ball there to Rodriguez. Rodriguez pulls the ball up and gives the ball back to Xhaka. Patient build-up. And it's back to Manuel Akanji. And the cross coming in here and cleared away and out of play. And it's going to be a throw-in to England. To Switzerland, taken quickly by Fabian Schär. Gives the ball to Manuel Akanji. Fabian Schär gets the ball back. And to Freuler, back to Manuel Akanji. And across there, good ball by Granit Xhaka. And we are ticking into injury time now, as it's Rodriguez gives the ball there to Zuba. Zuba drops the ball back. And now Manuel Akanji. We have got about a minute of stoppage time left. Manuel Akanji, he's got Schär over down the right-hand side. Can Schär deliver a good ball in all the way to the back post? It misses everybody. And finally, Zuba got the shot away over the crossbar. But that was a vicious ball into the box, Mike.
Yeah, it was. And I think I couldn't quite see who it was at the back post, but Embolo just took it off his teammate's head there. And I think that there was a bit of a discussion saying if you'd left that, I could probably be heading that one in and we could be potentially going through to a semi-final. So Embolo becoming one of England's saviours there with that defensive header.
Yeah, well, it's a goal kick now for Jordan Pickford. And he's just going to drill the ball downfield now. And up in the air there goes Kane. And it's tried to be headed on by Bellingham, but it's dealt with at the back by Xhaka. Forward to Embolo, but there appears to be, that's it. 1-1, regular time is done. We are going to go into extra time. And, Mike, what do you think?
I think it's been a very good game of football. I think Switzerland have played very, very well. They kept England at bay and then obviously took the lead with that Embolo goal, which I think was partially against the run of play potentially. And then England had to come out and do something. And Bukayo Saka did. He delivered. And we're level at 1-1. So we've got another 30 minutes and then potential penalties if it's still level then. But yeah, decent game of football. And Gareth Southgate, incidentally, has actually played against Switzerland, and that was in a 1-1 draw himself back in Euro 1996. So maybe he's having a few memories of that, but that was in the group stages in '96, and obviously this is a completely different kettle of fish now. That it's this sort of knockout stage in the tournament.
All right, we'll hand back to Nick for a short break before extra time.
All right, thanks, Paul. So 1-1 between England and Switzerland. I thought Switzerland were going to take it. I thought Switzerland were going to pull off a surprise victory, but England were able to pull something out of the bag and bring the score back. And Bukayo Saka, his first goal of the tournament, and now they've got 30 extra minutes ahead. Mike, what tactics will both Southgate and Yakin put forward to their players as they gear up for what could very well be 30 decisive minutes?
Yeah, so I think in terms of Switzerland, I think they've got some good options on the pitch. They've got options on the bench. I think we'll still see Shaqiri at some point. I think he might come on and feature in this game. So potentially he might come on. But yeah, as for England, I think they're going to have to try and use the momentum of getting that leveler now to their advantage and get at this tiring Switzerland defence that way with the substitutes that have come on and get them some impact on the game. Sorry, I should say.
Yes, indeed, and that was indeed. Under Zuba just before 90 minutes, he was unlucky to miss with that header.
Yeah, he was. It was Embolo, wasn't it? That just nicked it off of his head as he was about to head it in, or potentially head it in for Switzerland. So, England got away with one there, but we're going to be getting underway for the first period of extra time in a second, and then, let's see what happens. Let's see whether England can put it out of the bag again as they did last time around in the Slovakia match.
The referee now just going through the coin toss between England and Switzerland to see who will kick off first for the first period of extra time. I will let you know who it is shortly. So we're about to kick off for this first period of extra time. So let's hand over back to Mike Harneman and Paul James.
Thank you, Nick. Thanks, everybody, for staying with us, spending your valuable Saturday afternoon with us. We really appreciate it. Mike, do you see England doing what they did against Slovakia, taking over now? Maybe the stuffing has been knocked out of Switzerland with that goal.
Yeah, I'd like to hope so. I think Switzerland is a different kettle of fish to Slovakia, though. So we'll have to wait and see, what happens on the defensive side for England and how they can cope with Embolo, etc. But I think England are going to have to try and go for this now. So yeah, I think we'll see England hopefully turn up the gears a little bit.
Well, Switzerland are about to get the extra time underway, attacking from right to left in this first period of extra time. And already you can see that there will be additional substitutions in this extra time period. You are allowed one more substitution in this period. So we'll see how England will use that and how Switzerland as well will operate with that as well. So far, substitutions have been limited in this game. What I've normally found is that most teams have used all 5 by this point, but we'll see how it plays out. The first period of extra time is underway, and it's with Manuel Akanji. Akanji gives the ball to Fabian Schär. Back to Akanji, and Akanji holds the ball up. He's got Rodriguez here with him. Arbeischer alongside him, but he decides to go with Manuel Akanji again. And so far, England at 1-1 now with that goal from Bukayo Saka. Just for a moment, you thought that maybe Switzerland might have stole it. As Nick said, I actually, honestly, myself, Mike, I thought Switzerland had stolen it.
Yeah, England were a bit fortunate there at the end of the game in injury time, but still holding on to that record against Switzerland, which still goes back to 1983 when the Swiss last beat England, and it's gonna what we are. We're at 13 games, aren't we, at the moment? So let's see whether England can keep that at 14 in the extra time period.
Well, it's now with Remo Freuler. Freuler holds the ball up and plays the ball down this left-hand side, looking for Zuber. Zuber plays the ball back to Rodriguez. Rodriguez back to Granit Xhaka now. Xhaka plays the ball forward to Zuber, and that's a quick 1-2. And here's Arbeischer. Arbeischer, there's space over on the left-hand side, and the cross is a very, very poor one from Fabian Schär. That was a real opportunity for Switzerland. England fell asleep at the back there.
Yeah, it was a good opportunity for Switzerland, that one. And I think if it's a better delivery, then England would be under a little bit more pressure there. But yeah, I've got to be very wary of Switzerland on the attack in front because they do have quality about them.
Well, goal kick to be taken by Jordan Pickford. As the Swiss fans still very noisy. Be interesting if it does go to penalties, which side those penalty kicks will be taken from. Here's Embolo, holds the ball up well there, big and strong as Briel Embolo. He's got 2 players around him. He just drops the ball back to Rodriguez, who gives the ball to Manuel Akanji. Akanji holds the ball up. Plays the ball there to Granit Xhaka, back to Manuel Akanji. Akanji, good ball over onto the the right-hand side there to Vidmar. Vidmar just drops the ball back to Schär. Schär to Akanji. Akanji plays the ball to Granit Xhaka. Switzerland just patient, build up here, no rushing. Good ball to Arbeischer, but Foden getting in well and winning the ball back, gives the ball to Kyle Walker. To Bellingham. Bellingham drops the ball back to Luke Shaw, and there is Stones. Stones plays the ball to Declan Rice. Declan Rice. Over there to Eberechi Eze. And here's Bellingham. England now in possession of the ball. Gives the ball there to Cole Palmer. And it's back there to Bellingham. Bellingham holds the ball up. Gives it to Stones, and Stones releases it to Walker. Walker plays the ball down the right-hand side here to Bukayo Saka, the goal scorer for England. Bukayo Saka drops the ball back to Kyle Walker. Back to Stones. Stones holds the ball up to Declan Rice. Declan Rice, good ball to Luke Shaw. England, patient play now. I'm just wondering, Mike, having seen so many times England's poor performance on penalties, will they really want it to go that far?
Probably not. I think if England can get a goal in extra time, then yeah, that's going to be certainly what they're looking for.
Cole Palmer drops the ball back to Luke Shaw. And it's Declan Rice. Bellingham. Forward to Cole Palmer again. Can Cole Palmer set off Eze on his way? Eze tries to get the cross in, and it's just headed out by Rodriguez. Back to Declan Rice for the shot. Oh, a super save by Jan Sommer. But what a good effort by Declan Rice.
Yeah, brilliant effort from Declan Rice, and the save had to be made as well, because for me that was netted into the bottom corner.
Yes, that was a super save by Jan Sommer, keeping the Swiss in it there. Declan Rice just pulling one right out of the Rice scrapbook. The sort of thing we've seen all season for during his time at Arsenal. Corner is going to be taken by Eze on the right-hand side. And he is going to outswing this one. Eze swings the ball out, and it's just headed out there by Granit Xhaka. Only as far as Walker, who heads the ball there to Bukayo Saka. He gives the ball to Eze. Eze gives the ball back there to Foden. And here's Walker. Over to Declan Rice. Midway inside the Switzerland half of the field. And now Cole Palmer down the left-hand side. Can Palmer get a cross in? Surrounding him is Vidmore. Good work by Vidmore. And he's going to chase this one down and try to prevent the throw-in. But it does roll out of play for a throw-in to England. And it's Jude Bellingham. Bellingham gets the ball back to Foden. Back to Declan Rice. Foden again. And it's now with Luke Shaw. Back there to Foden. And across here to the number 2, Kyle Walker for England inside the centre circle. Possession football in the Swiss half of the field right now. Here's Bellingham again. Trying to make the run there is Cole Palmer. Instead he goes to Phil Foden. It's now with Declan Rice. Back to, that's Cole Palmer. Cole Palmer just nipping inside Vidmar there. And did Vidmar bring him down? Well, the referee said no. And Switzerland now coming forward with a long ball and chasing this one down. Here is Abisher. And Abisher there just chasing the ball back. And it nearly, Pickford was very quick to react there. But just for a moment, I thought he'd sent that just a little bit too short, Mike.
Yeah, it did look like it for a moment. But Jordan Pickford did enough there. And, you know, he's not had an awful lot to do in this game. So it's good that he's still alert and alive to the danger.
Abisher gives the ball to Zuba. Zuba tries to lift the ball over Harry Kane, but it just bounces off the England's captain and falls to Saka. But Saka gives the ball to Rodriguez. And finally, a challenge by Kane. And Kane is down, and Rodriguez is protesting his innocence. But we're going to just see whether he's going to give anything else here. Oh, he just kicked the back of Kane's leg. Now, Rodriguez doesn't want to get booked, because if he does get booked, he'll miss the semi-finals if Switzerland get there. But it's going to be a free kick, in fact. Or is it? Is the referee going to give a free kick? We're going to see a substitution now for Switzerland anyway. And it's Dennis Zakaria, who is coming on for Dan Ndoye. Are you surprised to see that, Mike?
Yeah, I am a little bit. I think Dan Ndoye's not had a bad game. I think he's obviously a more attacking player as well. So I think Switzerland maybe just want to put an extra body in the midfield. I think that's where they they see England could potentially win this game. So, yeah, they're looking to put an extra body there to deal with what England have got going forward.
Well, it's with Akanji, gives the ball to Granit Xhaka. Xhaka holds the ball up and returns the ball to Akanji. He's in the centre circle, just inside the England half of the field. Here's Zakaria. Drop back there, and England under pressure at the moment. Picked up there by Zakaria again. Easy substitute has just come on. And it's with Fabian Schär right now, just over the halfway line. Finds Remo Freuler to Zakaria. Zakaria drops the ball back again to Fabian Schär. And Switzerland, well, just looking for options left and right. The ball by Schär is a poor one. And Eberechi Eze just nips in and steals that ball. Eze now coming forward. He's got Schär in front of him. He's definitely tripped by Fabian Schär, was he? Yes, and he's got to be very careful as Fabian Schär. Mike, he's had a few fouls since the yellow card. And I think he's walking a very tight rope right now.
Yeah, he very much is. I was just about to say the same, actually. I think that since he got booked, well, it was quite early, wasn't it? It was in the opening 20-25 minutes. He's been sort of very careful and not even got himself sent off yet. But, yeah, there's been a few sort of touch and go moments for him. And that one there, on another day, that could have been a second yellow.
Well, it is now with Declan Rice, who will take this free kick just inside the Swiss half of the field. Eze going back back into his own half, and putting the ball back to the goalkeeper. There is Luke Shaw, and Pickford releases the ball here to Walker. Walker goes back to Pickford again, as England have 5 minutes to go until the first half of extra time. And they haven't really pressed too much in extra time of England. They've had one or two options, one or two chances. Of course, that save by Sommer being the highlight as Harry Kane jumps up to try to win that ball back. And it's eventually picked up by Cole Palmer, who sends the ball down the right-hand side. And here's Bukayo Saka. Saka holds the ball up. He's got Arbasha and Rodriguez in front of him. Saka pulls the ball back here to Jude Bellingham. Bellingham back to Foden with a shot. It's blocked by Manuel Akanji. And up in the air there, Breland Bowler chasing that one. Oh, it breaks loose for Bukayo Saka. He's got a bit of space, Saka here. Can he beat his man? He gets the cross in, and it's headed out, but only as far as Jude Bellingham. Can Bellingham get a shot in? Rodriguez throws himself at it, but it bounces back to Jude Bellingham. And his shot is comfortably saved by Jan Sommer, as Switzerland defending for their lives right now.
Yeah, they are. They're defending very, very well and very strong at the moment of Switzerland. And, Jude Bellingham there. Pretty tame effort, really, and comfortable for Sommer in the Switzerland goal. But good play from England. But, yeah, Switzerland defending very well.
Well, it's here's Zakaria. Zakaria drops the ball back there to, that looks like Remo Freuler. He's given the ball now to Manuel Akanji. Akanji just plays the ball forward here to Zuba. Zuba drops the ball back to Granit Xhaka. As Switzerland now coming forward, looking to create something. Here's Widmer. Widmer drops the ball back to Granit Xhaka, to Fabian Schär. Fabian Schär again, almost at walking pace right now with the Swiss. Here's Remo Freuler. Freuler drops it back to Xhaka. And it's now back with Manuel Akanji. Sends the ball to Zakaria on the right-hand side. Zakaria drops the ball back there. And it's picked up by Fabian Schär. Here's Xhaka. Zakaria. Freuler. Schär. Really patient build-up this by the Swiss. Schär just drops the ball back to Akanji. And Mike, it's almost like a training session right now with Switzerland, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. They're just knocking it around and kind of just keeping the ball, really, aren't they, at this moment in time? And England haven't really taken the taken the game to Switzerland too much as of yet either. So, yeah, this first period of extra time, neither side really wants to lose it at this stage.
Well, it's a free kick to England as Switzerland finally submit the ball. As we take a look at the two managers, of course, they played against each other in the Euros at different times, of course. But Gareth Southgate, as alluded by Mike earlier on, played against Switzerland in 1996, and in 2004, the Swiss manager Murat Yakin played against England. Well, here's Foden. Foden lifts the ball over the top looking for Kane, but getting in the way there is Remo Freuler. He launches the ball forward. Briel Mbola's offside, and England comfortably win the ball back as it's Eze. Plays the ball back to Declan Rice. Rice having to chase this one all the way back as to not give a corner. There's a poor ball by Eze, and he returns the ball to the goalkeeper, Jordan Pickford. England now coming forward again. It's Jude Bellingham. There's a lot of tiredness out there. I do wonder whether England and Switzerland might consider making additional substitutions, Mike, because they've played. It's going to be tiring for the players that started this game. We're now almost at half time of extra time, and there's a lot of players out there that look very tired.
Yeah, I agree as well, and I do think there'll be some subs coming up shortly, maybe at the half-time period in extra time. And I think England's, wouldn't be totally against bringing on Ivan Toney right now. Obviously, he had a big impact last time on the bench, off the bench against Slovakia, and potentially bringing him on, or even on Ollie Watkins to partner Harry Kane wouldn't be a bad idea.
Well, that's half time of extra time. It finishes 1-1 at this period. We've got the second period of extra time coming up. The players are just going to take a short break now. And Mike, why don't you give us your assessment of that first period of extra time?
Yeah, it's been very, very cagey. England could have been ahead through the Declan Rice effort, which was well saved by Sommer. But other than that, there's not been an awful lot of clear-cut chances for either nation. And it's, as I said, at the end of the first period there, it very much looks like neither nation wants to lose the game. So, yeah, if you can't win it, don't lose it. So we could potentially be looking at a penalty shootout if it stays the same throughout the second period of extra time as we've seen in that first.
I don't think England will enjoy that. They've had penalty shootout victories over Spain in the Euros in 1996 and in the 2018 World Cup against Colombia, but I've had plenty of penalty heartbreak as well. Twice against Portugal, of course against Germany in 1996 and 1990. I don't think England will want it to go that far. Mike, what do you think?
No, I don't think they would either. But then, as I said, you don't want to lose the game. So, yeah, it's a matter of risk against reward really at this stage. And, what kind of risk do you want to take and then, potentially be caught out at the back. And we saw at the end of the 90 minutes, well, it was about the last minute of injury time even really, that Switzerland could have won it. So, yeah, that's what you don't want to see from an England point of view. Just, if you can go for it, but still be solid at the back, then try and do that. But it's a very, very difficult stage to know what to do really at this point when you just don't want to lose the game really.
That's right. Well, so far, all the three quarterfinals so far have all gone to extra time. Penalties last night with France and Portugal. Let's see what the second period of extra time has in store for us as England readying to kick us off, attacking from right to left. England fans still vocal. This is been a challenging game for them. They've found it hard to break down Switzerland. And Switzerland coming forward have managed to put a dent in England as well with the goal. But a superb equaliser from Bukayo Saka as we get the second period of extra time underway here at the Merkur-Spiel Arena in Dusseldorf. And the header is won there that time by Harry Kane. But it comes back to Rodriguez. And as the referee given a free kick for England here, I think he's just stopped it because it's a head injury. That's not what England will want, a head injury to Harry Kane, mate.
No, definitely not. But I think he's going to be okay by the looks of things. But yeah, you touched on it before about those England fans and the expectation regarding England. It's very much like France. Neither nation have got going as of yet, and it's been a poor tournament. But if we can do what France did and get through, then come around about 30, 40, maybe an hour's time, we'll still be happy. So yeah, that's something we've got to take from yesterday.
Well, here's Manuel Akanji as Switzerland now looking to come forward to see if they can break through with a winner. No substitutions at half-time of extra time, and each team still has 3 substitutions left that they can use. And right now, they're not using them, which I am really surprised at. Do you think, Mike, that they might well be expecting penalties?
Yeah, possibly. I think there is certainly one eye on penalties at this stage, but why not try and go for it? Why not try and win it as we saw in Spain against Germany yesterday? That one went into extra time, but didn't go the distance because Spain, went for it and got themselves a goal. So yeah, why not go for it a little bit at this stage?
Well, here is Fabian Schär. He's got Foden closing in on him. He just squares the ball to Manuel Akanji. Akanji just over the halfway line. He gives the ball there to Granit Xhaka. Xhaka across there to Rodriguez. Rodriguez has got Walker in front of him, and joining him is Cole Palmer. England win the ball back and it's cleared away. That's knocked down there by Manuel Akanji to Granit Xhaka. He returns it back to Akanji, who in turn gives it back to Granit Xhaka. Ball is played forward to Rodriguez, and he was just trying to set Zuber on his way. And Zuber is now trying to get to the byline. The cross comes in to Vidmore. It's bouncing around in the area there, but Eberechi Eze using great strength and just able to bring the ball away now. And he lifts it over the Swiss players to Harry Kane. Harry Kane just gets a touch, but he is levelled out of play there. And that is a he looks in a lot of pain there. That is perhaps a body check there, or a Akanji just ushering Kane out of play. Let's take another look at that. Oh, shoulder to shoulder over the refreshment bags and onto the floor. And Mike.
And almost onto Gareth Southgate as well. Gareth Southgate had to be alert there and show a little bit of the Gareth Southgate that you would have seen back in his playing days when he was defending to stop Harry Kane from going even further with the momentum into the dugout there.
Yeah, still got it. Anyway, coming on is Xherdan Shaqiri, and I'm just trying to see who it is that's coming off. I think it's Embolo, the goal scorer. Indeed it is. It's Embolo, the goal scorer, coming off, and Xherdan Shaqiri is coming on. So Shaqiri, the front man really, perhaps dropping this is basically their entire front line has been substituted now. And Mike, what do you make of that?
Yeah, I think I did expect to see Shaqiri. I didn't expect it to be for Embolo. And it's the same with this England's change as well, with Ivan Toney replacing Harry Kane. So, yeah, very strange, both of them.
Yeah, I find that particular strange with Harry Kane, because if the game does go to penalties, he's the chief penalty taker for England, isn't he?
Yeah, that's right, yeah. Ivan Toney obviously was good last time out off the bench, but you would have liked to have seen maybe them partnering each other or going with a two up front. So, unless Harry Kane's got an injury, whether he's feeling any effects on the back of what just happened or anything like that, it's a strange move. But France did it without Mbappe yesterday, so who knows?
Here is Luke Shaw. We've had 5 minutes of the second period of extra time, 10 to go in this one. You begin to wonder if perhaps next goal might be enough. Here's John Stones, gives the ball to Kyle Walker, and here's Declan Rice. Declan Rice sends the ball here to Eberechi Eze. Eze just cutting back there, drops the ball back to Luke Shaw. Xherdan Shaqiri, by the way, who's on for Switzerland, is wearing number 23, and Ivan Toney is wearing number 17 for England. So John Stones just drops the ball down the left-hand side to Luke Shaw. Luke Shaw drops the ball back here to Declan Rice, and it's Kyle Walker. Walker holds the ball up back to Jude Bellingham, and now back to Declan Rice. Rice down to Eberechi Eze, down the left-hand side. Eze tries to get the cross in, but it's blocked, and Granit Xhaka now gives the ball to Shaqiri. Shaqiri just trying to get away from Jude Bellingham, and the break might be on for Switzerland now. And it's Zuber, but good work there by Kyle Walker. Just got the interception in that time, and here's Bukayo Saka now for England. England have a player down, it's Jude Bellingham. Cole Palmer nicks into the penalty area. Good challenge. And it's one back now, and Switzerland now coming forward. It's dropped back there to Xhaka, Freuler, back to Akanji, as we are midway inside the Swiss half of the field here. Akanji plays the ball down here to Sylvain Widmer. Sylvain Widmer down the right-hand side, just drops it back to Zakaria. Zakaria pulls it into the middle there to Akanji. And here's Freuler. Freuler to Widmer. Widmer. And it's Freuler. Zakaria. Widmer. And picked up the ball there. Jude Bellingham is back on his feet now. England fans will be happy to know. As it's Fabian Schär, just gives the ball to Akanji. Over on the far side there is Granit Xhaka. And he releases the ball there. And it's a chance now from the edge of the area here for Zuber now. And now Widmer with a chance. And it just flew across the 6-yard box. And it was hacked away as Zakaria was in there looking for the opportunity. And the ball is played long over to the left-hand side now to Rodriguez. Rodriguez back to Freuler. Switzerland piling on the pressure right now. And well, the cross coming in there, across there to Fabian Schär, but his shot is a disappointing one. But just for a moment there, Mike, the Swiss looking very dangerous.
Yeah, they have been looking very dangerous there for a moment, and England have got to be wary of that. As I said before, they don't want to lose the game in this last period of extra time. So, yeah, just got to keep their heads defensively.
Now, we look again at Jude Bellingham, just hurting himself there. I didn't really see a lot in it, to be honest, but Xherdan Shaqiri was the one that clashed with Jude Bellingham. It's a goal kick now for England. And it's to be taken downfield. As it's won there by Xhaka, headed down there, at least tried to be headed down that time. But Switzerland were not able to get the ball onto the ground, but it finally goes out of play, and it's going to be a throw-in here to England. And we're going to see another substitution for England, and coming off for England is Phil Foden on the 114th minute, and coming on is Trent Alexander-Arnold. That's an interesting one as well, isn't it?
That is, yeah. It's a bit more of a defensive-minded change for me there with Trent Alexander-Arnold. Obviously, a bit more of a defensive midfielder or, defender potentially. So, yeah, a little bit of a defensive move there from Southgate.
Well, Trent Alexander-Arnold on. He's wearing number 8. As the England fans looking on, there's a lot of strain on both the faces of both supporters. They pretty much know that almost at this point in sudden death, because really one goal now, well, Mike, it's probably going to be enough, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I think if anyone can get themselves on the score sheet now, then yeah, I think they'll certainly be the hero for their nation.
There's Luke Shaw, and he gives the ball to Declan Rice. Declan Rice across there to the number 5, John Stones. Stones gets the ball back from Trent Alexander-Arnold, making his first touch on the ball as a substitute. And the ball is down this left-hand side to Luke Shaw. Luke Shaw to Eze. Eze just holding the ball up there, Bereich Eze. And he plays the ball across there to John Stones again. Stones over to the right-hand side there. And it's Trent Alexander-Arnold. Drops the ball back to Kyle Walker. Trent Alexander-Arnold again. Outside of the boot there. Past to Jude Bellingham. But it's cleared away by Rodriguez as far as Xherdan Shaqiri. Shaqiri just holding the ball up, looking for the runners. And he sends the ball down the right-hand side to Zuber. Zuber is being tracked by Kyle Walker. And all of a sudden, Vidmar is through here. And he's just gone wide. So maybe it's the chance has gone there. But Vidmar attempted to get the cross in. And it's a good challenge back by Saka. But look at this. This was a really good ball by Zuber. If Vidmar had been quicker there, he would have been in. And Jordan Pickford was in two minds there, Mike.
Yeah, 100%. I think Jordan Pickford was a little bit unsure what to do there, but Bukayo Saka got him out of jail. So let's see what happens from this corner now.
Well, 3.5 minutes left of extra time, and Xherdan Shaqiri is going to take this corner for Switzerland. And it's got players in the box there. Fabian Schär, of course, Dennis Zakaria. The cross comes in. Oh, it's a post! Oh my goodness me, that nearly went in from Xherdan Shaqiri. It just hit the post, and well, he was beaten there. Was Jordan Pickford? It hit the post, but that was nearly in the net. That was a cheeky move by Xherdan Shaqiri. Bereich Eze, is he able to keep the ball in play? He does, but that's a fine challenge there by Fabian Schär. And Mike, how close was that?
Yeah, really, really close there from Switzerland with Shaqiri's corner just onto the post. And yeah, England hanging on yet again.
Well, he flew across there. It actually hit the joint of the crossbar and post. If that was on target, you have to say that I don't think Pickford was getting there, Mike.
No, it didn't look like he was, as I think Switzerland are using their last few subs now, and England has still got a couple in hand if they wanted to use them. But it looks like we've got about 2 minutes. Looks like we're going to be set for a penalty shootout, Paul.
Well, Remo Freuler is coming off, and coming on is Zeki Abdouni. So Freuler and Abisha are off. Sierra, who's on a yellow card, and Burnley's Zeki Abdouni is coming on. So that is an interesting one. But we are looking now at this being just about a penalty shootout heading that way. But we'll see. You never know. Spain got it in the last minute against Germany yesterday. So we'll just see how this all plays out. So last two substitutes used there. That's all 6 used by Switzerland. And here is Xhaka. Xhaka plays the ball forward to Shaqiri. Shaqiri pulled in here. Here's Zeki Abdouni. Abdouni with a shot and a good save by Jordan Pickford. Zeki Abdouni looking to have his name in lights there. And here's Rodriguez as a Swisser now coming forward. And it's coming to the back post, and Vidmar just gets his foot underneath it and puts it over the crossbar. Hairy moments for England as Jordan Pickford reading the English defence a riot act.
Yeah, good save from Jordan Pickford. But again, England are hanging on at the end of extra time here, as they were at the end of injury time in the 90 as well. So, yeah, Switzerland are the ones that are looking to get the gold.
Well, Zeki Abdouni, he scored a couple of goals for Burnley in the Premier League last season. Almost got his name up in lights as well there. That's flicked on that time and cleared forward by Xhaka as Shaqiri, who's been an absolute nuisance since he's come on the pitch. And I think what we better do now, Mike, is we better have your player of the match.
So, yeah, for me, it's such a tough decision because I think there's players on both nations that have stood out. But for me, I think I'm going to have to give it to England's number 7, Bukayo Saka, who I think has been a menace to the Swiss defence and obviously got the goal for England as well to level it up. So, yeah, Bukayo Saka for me. But Switzerland, there's some players there, and Bolo and Xhaka and Rodriguez, even Akanji that have stood out as well. But yeah, I think Bukayo Saka gets the nod from me.
Well, the cross comes in. So today's player of the match is sponsored by Commentary Services. Goes to England's number 7, Bukayo Saka. As England coming forward now, we've got 1 minute of stoppage time. And it tries to pull the ball across there, Trent Alexander-Arnold, but it's hacked away that time. And Switzerland now just holding on now as Sierra gets that ball out and it breaks loose to Bukayo Saka. We've got 18 seconds left of stoppage time at the end of this game before we are going to a penalty shootout. And it's Stones, plays the ball long. And, going down there is Ivan Toney. The referee not having any of that. And it goes behind for a goal kick. And we may well be going to penalties at this point. As Zuba goes. And that's it. It is penalties. We are going to penalties, folks, after extra time. England and Switzerland are deadlocked at 1 apiece. And Mike, let's have your thoughts on the extra time period.
Yeah, I think England have done very well to stay in extra time come the end of the closing period of extra time anyway, because Switzerland had some good moments. Jordan Pickford had to be alert on a couple of occasions. But yeah, I think England were hanging on a bit at the end. So to get to penalties isn't a bad result here. But yeah, let's see what happens. Because England did have some moments in the first half of extra time. Declan Rice had the one that was saved as well. But yeah, let's see who the penalty takers are going to be, because some of the big penalty takers for both nations are no longer on the field of play.
Well, that's it. But Toney can probably take one. Saka can take one for England. Just looking at some of the players that potentially could take one. Trent could probably take one.
Yeah, Cole Palmer will probably take one as well. Who else is there? Maybe who else? I'm not too sure. Whether like Luke Shaw, maybe, I don't know.
Well, there's Shaqiri, Zakaria, probably Zeki Amdouni as well. Of course, some of the other penalty takers for Switzerland have all gone off. So I would say England perhaps have the advantage in this shootout.
It's I don't know. I don't know what to say on that, really. To be honest, I think that Granit Xhaka might take one for Switzerland as well. But yeah, we've already seen both keepers play a part in this game, and let's see whether one of them can become a hero or whether, unfortunately, one of the outfield players will step up and miss their spot kick. But the drama of penalty shootouts, buckle in, everyone.
Yes, it's going to be it's going to be one of them, isn't it? It's there's never a dull moment in these knockout stages of a major tournament like the Euros. We're seeing the flick of the coin here now. It looks like the penalty kicks are going to be taken in front of the England fans. That's another advantage to England. But let's see who is going to go first. Usually the spin of the coin is to determine who goes first. There has been some sort of advantage to going first, as many will argue that most penalty shootouts are won by going first, but I think it really depends on who takes those penalties, how good they are. Doesn't always work out that way, but certainly having them in front of your own fans is a definite advantage, Mike.
Yeah, definitely. They're very important come these sort of competitions, penalty competitions, to fans. So let's see whether they're going to have a big impact, or whether Switzerland can still get the job done in front of those England fans. But just to let everyone know, we will be bringing the other game, the Netherlands and Turkey game as well. So come the conclusion of this game, flick on over to that stream, and Russ will be in the hot seat for that one. So more football on the way.
Yeah, change of co-commentator. I won't be in the hot seat. I won't be as co-com for that. I've done 2 extra time games the last couple of days. I'm tired. As soon as this game is done. I don't blame
you at all, Paul. Yeah, 100%. Yeah. I think you deserve that bit of rest.
Yeah, it's Russell coped really, really well. So Russ is one of our. I'd say Russ is probably our best commentator. I like listening to Russ. He's good. It's Cole Palmer stepping up for England. And he is going to take the first penalty for England.
That's right. A great
It's-
season he had as well for club. Obviously, he was at Man City to start with, then made the switch to Stamford Bridge at Chelsea, and he's had a great season. Let's see what he can do from the spot now.
Well, let's see. He's stepping up with this one. There's both goalkeepers will have received their instructions. As Cole Palmer has had an outstanding season, as Mike said, for Chelsea. Let's see if he can cap it off here with a goal. And he sends Sommer the wrong way. And England draw first blood in the penalty shootout. Just sends the goalkeeper Jan Sommer the wrong way. And it is 1-0 to England. And that is exactly what you want when you're taking the first penalty. Oh, Gareth Southgate will remember that game against Germany. Yes, it's Manuel Akanji now for the Swiss. He is going to take the first penalty for Switzerland. And let's see if he can set Switzerland off in the right way. We are about to see. As he steps up against Jordan Pickford. As the referee is telling Jordan Pickford to get back on his line. Perhaps a little bit of gamesmanship by Jordan Pickford. As Manuel Akanji steps up here. Just a couple of pace run-up is Manuel Akanji. And, it's saved by Pickford! It's saved by Pickford! And Manuel Akanji, it's a very poor penalty by him, Mike.
Yeah, it was. It was comfortable for Jordan Pickford there, and advantage England in this early stage of the penalty shootout.
Well, it definitely is, because now they have the opportunity to go 2-up, and it's Jude Bellingham, would you mind? So this is a massive opportunity for England to take a 2-goal lead in this shootout. He is going to step up, scoring this will put England in a very, very strong position. Jude Bellingham steps up here now against Jan Sommer. Jude Bellingham, he steps up, he takes it and sends Jan Sommer the wrong way. Does a little bit of a stutter, and Jan Sommer goes to the right. Bellingham goes to the left and rolls that penalty kick into the corner, Mike.
Yeah, beautiful penalty from Jude Bellingham there. Call it you like from the England number 10. And, never in any doubt.
Well, who's going to be up for the Swiss, because they're under some pressure to score. As we wait and see who is up for the Swiss. It's Fabian Schär, the Newcastle player, the Newcastle centre-back. He's up for the Swiss, and a bouncing goalkeeper, Jordan Pickford, there must be feeling confident right now. But Fabian Schär steps up, and Jordan Pickford bouncing about on his line. We just wait for the referee's whistle. Here comes Schär. He steps up and sends Pickford the wrong way. Pickford goes to his right-hand side. Fabian Schär goes to his left. And that's a little bit of breathing space for Switzerland, Mike.
Yeah, good penalty from the Swiss there. And, Fabian Schär, who potentially is a little bit lucky to still be on the pitch, but good penalty nonetheless.
Yeah, rolls that ball in. But here comes Bukayo Saka. Of course, he missed in the Euro final last time out against Italy. By goodness me, he'll want to put that right. And tremendous competitor, one of the best players England have produced in this golden era, as he steps up to take this penalty now. And against Jan Sommer, Saka steps up now for England. Can he put this penalty away to give England a 3-1 lead? Here comes Saka, and he sends the goalkeeper the wrong way. And once again, Sommer goes to the right. Saka just rolls it into the left-hand corner. And England take a 3-1 lead. And he'll be delighted with that, Bukayo Saka, after missing against Italy in 2021, Mike.
Yeah, 100%. I'm delighted for him as well. Very good penalty from Bukayo Saka. And, England almost there.
Xherdan Shaqiri setting up now for the Swiss. He has been very effective since he's come on. Let's see if he can score now and keep the pressure on England. Shaqiri steps up against Pickford and he puts it into the corner. Pickford went the right way. Very nearly got there, did Pickford, but Xherdan Shaqiri had enough power and direction into the corner to give the Swiss their second penalty. That was actually a pretty decent penalty, Mike.
Yeah, it was. It was a very good penalty from Shaqiri there, and it looks like Ivan Toney is going to be taking the penalty for England. And what a strange season he's had. Let's see whether he can win this for England now, though.
Well, Shaqiri, Ivan Toney rather steps up. If he scores, it's match point because it will mean that Switzerland will have to score. But let's see if Ivan Toney now can put this one away for England. It's a short run-up. He's against Jan Sommer. Ivan Toney steps up here. And he scores. He sends it under Jan Sommer, who went the right way. And there's just enough power on it to beat the Swiss goalkeeper. And now it's match point England as Switzerland must score. And I do not envy the player that's stepping up now. England fans celebrating. Stepping up here is, well, it's Zeki Abdouni, who is stepping up now. And he looks incredibly nervous, Mike.
Yeah, he does. He looks very, very nervous here. Let's see what he can do, though.
Zeki Abdouni. He didn't actually take a penalty for Burnley last season, but he's stepping up now. And, well, Jordan Pickford is bouncing about on his line. Abdouni steps up and he puts it down the middle. Oh, cool as you like. Pickford went to his left-hand side, and for such a young man, that really is a wonderful penalty.
Yeah, and the nerves didn't show there in the end. It was a very, very good penalty from the Burnley man there. So he was able to do it despite the nerves, as England, with Trent Alexander-Arnold, have the opportunity now to progress through to the semi-final.
Yes, if Alexander-Arnold scores, England go through to the semi-final, and he will step up now to try to put England through to the semi-final of the Euros here in Germany. And it would mean all 5 penalties have been scored by England. So Trent Alexander-Arnold steps up, and it's against Jan Sommer. Jan Sommer, it's so important now for Switzerland. And Trent Alexander-Arnold drills it into the net. And England go on to the semi-finals in Dortmund and will take on the Netherlands or Turkey as they celebrate in front of their home fans. It is a 5-3 victory on penalties for England, as once again they had to go down the penalty train. But Mike, those really were good penalties by England, to be fair.
Yeah, they were 5 super, super penalties from England. Every single one, right from the first all the way through to Trent Alexander-Arnold's winner there at the end as well. 5 very, very good penalties. Jordan Pickford made the save as well to deny Akanji on the first one. But, yeah, I think there's maybe a bit of penalty practice there for England, because those 5 penalties were absolutely superbly executed.
Well, they were indeed. So England march on to the semi-finals of the Euros with a trip to Dortmund on Wednesday against either the Dutch or Turkey. Nick, back to you.
Thanks, Paul. Well, we're just about out of time, so I can't really say much more. But England have won 5-3 on penalties, and they will go through to the semi-finals to face the Turkey or the Netherlands, which will be coming up in just a moment or two. Do not miss it. We'll see you then. Goodbye.